Hey guys, what's up? Lumpy Ice Cream here with
That's him.
and some guest stars. You know Ryan from the prequel reaction, and this is the wonderful Stuart.
Spike. Yeah, Spike.
I go by Phoenix Fire.
Phoenix Fire.
This is easy
Spike. This hopefully is a long road we're going to have for guest stars. Quick announcement. Wednesday's video on our channel is going to be childhood movies, and we're going to have the wonderful James Kelly on with us.
James the Tasmanian Gamer.
I am gonna watch that.
Yes, it is great. He's been wanting to come on since like our second episode, but we couldn't see his comment for whatever reason.
Yeah, I checked back on the videos and I couldn't even see it.
Yeah, no, it
me.
came up in our. So if you guys are leaving comments, we apologise. We just can't see them. Anyway, so we're up with our Series 8 recap, the final recap of old Doctor Who. Well, I mean,
I'm sorry.
So Series 9 is literally a few hours away from airing. We've had a couple of scares, thinking is it a simulcast? Is it not? But thankfully, it's all sorted out.
We had quite a rather big mix-up with the TV guide scheduling.
Yeah, but luckily it's all sorted now. Not that you guys... Well, actually, I don't know when this will be uploaded, because, it's either going to be late today or early Monday, because I've got to be somewhere tomorrow, or technically today, and... Try and remind me. And I don't know, but you guys will know, so that's all that matters.
Because you'll probably be watching this.
Yeah, alright, so we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty,
Let's get down to business.
To the beach.
To recap, Series 8.
Let's not.
Okay, so we've got a lot of guys here, so we're just going to roll on. Number 12 for me is Kill the Moon.
Number 12.
Yeah. Did you count Last Christmas?
No, I didn't.
Well, that explains it. Doesn't matter.
Neither did I.
So Kill the Moon. What else can I say? It's just a really bad story. More on that when we go back over. Spike, what's...
well, you see, I didn't... I just got an incomplete list here, so...
Alright, would you like to comment on Kill the Moon very briefly?
Kinda sucks.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Oh, sorry, I give this a 0 out of 10. It's one of those very rare stories I did that. What do you give this as a rating, Spike?
Yeah.
If you want, you can even write just what you had on your... you made notes.
Yeah, well, none of these on Kill the Moon, so...
Fair enough. Just something off the top of your head that you can say.
Kill the Moon. Yeah, kind of crummy.
Kind of crummy. You can put that on like a DVD case.
Yeah.
Kind of crummy. Spike, 2015.
The dancing pumpkin would be more interesting to watch.
Yes.
Mostly because the concept is more interesting.
Yeah, like you said. Well, not I don't.
Do you have a list?
Yes. Oh, well, I gave it a grade, but not a. I don't have a list of.
Yep. Okay. So what did you?
I just gave it a minus. 1,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0 Yeah.
Abundance of zeros.
And fucking shit. Shit.
How many exclamation marks?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7. So yeah, you're getting a sense of this. And Tim,
I didn't even write Kill the Moon on my list. I just wrote Kill It With Fire. And I gave it a rating of Kill This Episode.
There we go, guys.
I even crossed out a moon and wrote... Oh wait, no, you're going to see the rest of my scores.
Yeah, just sit down.
Yeah.
Alright.
This episode.
So yeah, number 11 on my list is In the Forest of the Shite.
Yes!
I give this a 1. But that's just because I think the first half is quite funny. There's some really good humour, and I think Capaldi is great with the kids.
Yeah.
Other than that, oh my god, is this episode dreadful and a waste of space.
Peppa Pig.
Yeah, the voice actress
has Peppa
Pig is in it, and she is infuriating.
Oh my god.
I cannot stand these kids. Like, I thought the kids that Clara took care of in Series 7 were bad. Oh my god, these kids are so much worse. And really, it's only her and that Bradley kid that get dialogue.
Well, look at it this way. At least
Bradley kid's really annoying.
At least that actress who plays Peppa Pig won't have that voice forever.
No, she is. She's gonna be like an 80-year-old woman. It's like, it's very grown up.
At least she's not. She's not known for being on Doctor Who.
Thank
So
fuck.
she's got her own
Put
thing.
your lips together and blow.
Yes.
So, what do you have to say about this episode, Spike?
Okay, let's see. Well, I wrote down in the forest of the night, and then I crossed it out and wrote the path. No one gets that joke? Oh,
No,
okay.
no one
Right.
gets it.
Okay, and my assessment of
Explain later.
In the forest of the night is ha ha ha. You're kidding, right?
Yeah.
Sounds about
Basically, Phoenix Fire.
right. I did not call this by its title. I just called it In the Night Garden because that's what it is.
That is,
and I
yeah.
think I would actually rather watch In the Night Garden. And it is. My rating was shithouse.
It's more like that particular movie that stars Thomas the Tank Engine and Alec Baldwin.
That movie's amazing compared to
It
this
is,
episode.
yes.
Look this way. At least In the Night Garden has the benefit of a airship that's powered by farting.
Yes.
He does have a point.
Something Doctor Who does
Anyway,
not have a
Tim?
Yeah, I actually wrote the title of the episode down, so that's a sign, sort of thing.
Alright, so would any of you guys like to be the new co-host?
Yeah.
I did rate the episode a fuck off. So
Okay, that's fair enough.
Can't argue with that.
and then give it an actual rating of 1 because, as you said, the humor is quite funny.
But like I've said in the past, an episode just can't rely on one sole purpose.
No.
And in the case of, like, say, fucking Partners in Crime, that relied too heavily on humour. This has the humour kind of there, but absolutely shit all else.
An episode has to have something to draw you in,
Yeah.
but it has to have something different to keep you there.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so number 10 for me is Into the Dalek. Everyone was ranting and raving about this, saying it was such a great episode. Oh, I hated
You're blaming me
this.
for this.
I hated this episode. Like, I don't know. Right from the moment it was like broadcast, I did not like it. I was like, it has little to no anything really. It's just kind of boring. And for such an original concept to Doctor Who, it's far from an original concept.
You sort of forget where it's going.
Not that, but it feels so unoriginal. It's like you said, we're watching, like, Series 8, not Dalek.
Yeah.
Because that's what it feels like. It feels like Dalek.
It's like
literally one
Dalek put together with Kill Hitler.
Yes.
Kill Hitler.
And there's actually a deleted scene.
Literally one scene in that episode is basically the same scene in Dalek anyway.
The deleted scene is Rusty blowing himself up on the Dalek ship.
Yeah.
I think they deleted that. And if you actually
that wasn't
the leaked version on the internet, when all of the first 5 episodes got leaked online, and the black and white unedited version had that scene in it. So I mean,
well, it's not even.
I feel like I would have
took it
enjoyed
out.
the episode better if that happened.
no, because I think they took it out because they realised, fuck, this episode's exactly like Dalek.
That scene, not exactly like Dalek. Yes, the Dalek did kill itself in Dalek, but I likened, from what you said with him Rusty blowing himself up on the ship, I likened that more to Adric.
And when you're likened to Adric, that's not a good thing.
No.
So I give this a 2 just because I thought there was some, I don't know. There's some elements I like, but I'm not exactly sure what.
You actually mentioned that the story Into the Dalek actually bears similarities to the audio drama Jubilee. So
Jubilee.
Yeah.
No. What I meant by that is Dalek is. It was written by the same person as Jubilee,
right, okay.
and that's why they're similar.
Oh, right, okay, that makes sense.
Similar, same creative style.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you guys listen, I believe I've explained it before on this. If you go listen to Jubilee, they're the Dalek and Jubilee are very similar, but there's also a world of difference between the two.
And Into the Dalek comes across as a bastard love child.
It kind of does. But,
The one they keep in the closet. They don't.
Now,
talk
I'm just
about
saying,
much.
I love Jubilee more than I love Dalek, so that just goes to show how much I love that audio.
Yeah.
So what did you think of Into the Dalek?
Into the Dalek. Well, I've got one word written here, and it's wag. Wag.
Wait.
2 exclamation marks.
Yeah.
Alright, Phoenix first.
I gave this a 1.
Yeah.
Because I...
I'm thinking of changing my score.
Yeah.
tour
Now-
one as well.
The thing with this was, I first watched it, and I think I was half tired. I was really tired at the time I watched it, and I was having a bit of a drink.
Yeah.
So I thought, I came to college the next day and talked to you about it, and I was like, oh, it wasn't bad, and you were raving on it about how bad it was.
Yeah.
And then before when we watched it there, I just realised,
It's
sweet
bad.
salty Christ, no. And it's just not good.
Tim, what is your number 10?
Oh, well, my number 10 is, we already talked about In the Forest of the Night.
Yeah.
In the Forest of the Fuck Off. My number 9
I forgot you got a list.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. My number 9 is Into the Dalek, and I gave it a 2.
Mm.
It does seem, it seems like an original concept, but again, it does come off as really unoriginal.
It does. Yeah.
And I didn't hate it. I didn't think this was the worst thing ever.
No, but
I could still probably watch it again.
Yeah, but then again, it being not the worst thing ever doesn't mean it's not good.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying it's good.
Yeah,
I'm saying that it's not the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
I can rewatch it if I wanted to, but yeah, it just doesn't really do much.
It's obviously not the worst thing ever, because Kill the Moon is in the same
Yeah,
series.
yeah. I mean, oftentimes Dalek stories don't feel like a waste of space.
Mm.
This one, I think, is the first one that really does.
Mm.
I mean, there's been really bad Dalek stories before. I mean, just look at Asylum.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
one of the worst of New Who.
And even then,
And
it doesn't feel like
It
a
doesn't
waste
feel
of
like a
space.
waste of space. I mean, it feels like a complete shit.
Evolution
space.
Evolution of the Daleks.
No, I love that episode.
Well, I'm pretty sure you told me you hated that episode.
Probably. I
'Cause
mean,
I like Daleks in Manhattan, but I just like the Evolution of the Daleks less.
yeah. I mean, I just love it because people always see that episode as being, oh, it shits on the Daleks. But I always refer them to the one scene when the Doctor fucks with the radio and
Yeah.
Dalek Sec is invisible pain. And the Daleks protect him, but what they say, I think, speaks volumes, and that is they
Protect
say
the hybrid.
protect the hybrid.
Yeah.
They don't say protect Sec or our leader or whatever. They say the hybrid. They don't view him as a Dalek anymore.
No.
Mm.
And I think that is just
Which is shown later on in the episode when he's on all fours.
exactly,
And,
and that is just shown as a Dalek. Yeah. Alright, so number 9 for me is The Caretaker.
Mhm.
Now, I do like this episode, I will admit. I give it a 5. It is just a case of, I think the only thing that it's got going is kind of the humour of it.
Mhm.
I mean, the Doctor whistling Pink Floyd is absolutely fantastic. I loved that the first time. The Skovok Blitzer is kind of shit. I mean, it was a really big missed opportunity for it to be like the Raston warrior robot from the Five Doctors.
I wish it was.
because the description given is matching to the
but it's
to that, and you never really get an idea of what the Skovok Blitzer can do.
No,
you don't get an understanding of it's one of the most fearsome killing machines in the universe.
like you said, it has more a description that would describe the Raston warrior
Yeah.
robot. But what you get is the complete opposite. You get a big, sluggish, half-tank thing on
I
three
mean, it
legs.
moves fast and it just looks hilarious doing it.
It looks like a robot Silurian crossed with a spider.
It does. It's a it's a Arachnos Silurian robot.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, yes. But yeah,
Arachnos and a Silurian got together and we're like, we can't have an actual
And
child, let's
see,
build one.
I know Courtney Woods is infuriating, but she's supposed to be. That's
Yeah. Yes.
why. That's what I don't like, is when I'm okay with like certain characters being infuriating if you're obviously supposed to find them infuriating. I don't think you're supposed to find the kids in the Forest of the Shite infuriating.
But you do.
I think you're supposed to like them to a degree.
Because they're so just
Yeah,
hopelessly
yeah.
horrible.
And, I mean, yeah. Yeah, Spike, what did you think of the
Oh,
Caretaker?
okay. Which one was that again?
That's the one at the school.
Oh,
Where the
that
doctor
one.
was the caretaker at the school.
Yeah.
Oh.
Also, no Ian Chesterton cameo.
Yeah.
That every time they go to that school and there's no Ian cameo makes me very upset. So yeah, can you remember enough of this
No.
episode? Alright, I just want to clarify, guys. Spike was not here for the entire marathon. Unlike us, he has a job.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm close to getting it.
he's close to getting a job. Tim and I couldn't be further. Am I right?
I'm
I
at
don't
least
know.
thinking about it.
I'm thinking about
give
it.
it a
Don't get
few
me wrong.
years.
But that's
And,
about it.
and when you have a job, you buy shit like this.
I buy shit like that whether I have a job or not.
Alright, Phoenix Fire, what did you think of this?
Caretaker. I liked Caretaker.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good episode.
Yeah.
I gave it an 8.
8. Yeah, I can see
Because
that. I mean, I did hold this in high regard.
The thing with me is that I'm rather generous when it comes to rating an episode that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
And yeah,
I do view it as more critical.
Caretaker,
because,
as like you said, Whistling Pink Floyd
yeah.
was just amazing. But this is going to be I'm going to voice it now because I'm probably going to be saying it through this entire thing.
Probably.
Because Danny played a lot, at least a semi-integral part into it. That's the only thing I didn't like about it, because I do not like Danny at all.
Yeah. Not a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
Which I can kind of see why. But, oh well.
Yeah.
And Tim, what is your number, whatever the fuck we're up to?
8.
You're to number 8. Yep. Okay.
My number 8 is Listen.
Yep.
Again, like, it's an episode that starts out pretty good. You got a actually terrifying concept.
Yes.
Like,
definitely.
the whole, like, getting out of bed and having something grab your ankle from under your bed.
I mean, I
thing is,
personally
like,
never have had that dream.
I personally, I have had that dream. Like,
Yeah.
pretty much anyone I've come in contact with has had that
Yeah.
dream.
I have.
I've had similar,
Or at
but
least
not
I've had
exact.
my suspicions that they have, because, like,
Yeah.
it's a really common fear of something under the bed grabbing you, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh. And so this episode, like, gripped me right from the start,
Mm-hmm.
but then it just ended on such a note that made me think, where's the fucking monster? What the fuck is
Yeah.
the villain?
Okay.
Like, I did not get what this episode was trying to
I came to
achieve.
the conclusion that Clara was the villain in that episode.
It kind of, we'll go back around
Wasn't
that,
it?
because what we
Yeah.
do here is we establish all of the list, and then we go back over the episodes in their order. So, yeah, well, my number 8 is Listen. I give us a 5.
Oh, I gave Listen a 3.
Okay. I'm thinking of giving it less, I'm not sure, because I was very disappointed by this episode. I was watching it, I'm like, because everyone who's watched the past videos will know I love horror. Horror is, I think, such an integral part of Doctor Who, and psychological horror especially. And that's something Listen was setting up for, but we didn't get the payoff in the end. And we'll explain why when we loop back over. Spike, what did you
Okay,
think?
well, listen, yeah, I strongly feel that Listen had a lot of potential, because it's great for building suspense, and
Yeah.
and as you said, Doctor Who does horror really well.
Do you think it's the most important element of Doctor Who? Horror.
well? That's actually
Maybe in the previous incarnations of Doctor Who.
I think it's always
Say
a key
if you go back,
fundamental part.
yes, but there have been a lot of horror in Doctor Who, and they have
Yeah.
done it very well. Like Baker, Hammer horror style,
Yeah.
he did it the best.
Yeah.
It was
I mean,
it was
like-
good.
You know, the one thing a lot of people say about Doctor Who is, you know, behind the couch, hiding behind the couch.
Yeah.
I personally have experienced that, I'm just going to say, guys. And that is why I think Doctor Who, at its heart, needs to have a horror element.
Yeah.
Not in every episode, no. But, you know, you have to
Just
feel
in a
that
couple of
fear.
episodes in a season.
Yeah.
absolutely.
And, I mean, I think why psychological horror I love so much is because I'm not frightened by cheap horror, like jump scares or anything. It takes a lot to kind of get in my head and
Dread.
yeah.
Building of dread.
Sinister was a movie. Have you guys seen Sinister?
No.
No.
I highly recommend that movie.
I have seen it, and personally, I was fucking terrified. To this day, I'm still
Yes,
terrified.
but to be fair, it doesn't take much to scare you.
True.
But for me, it takes a lot, and that movie got to me. Like, and there's a sequel out, and I want to watch it, but I've heard some pretty bad reviews. But anyway, so yeah, continue.
So yeah, but yeah, as you said, as Tim said, there's just no real payoff, because,
Exactly.
which is a shame, because you got this tremendous build up, but yeah,
Like, I
You
see
gotta have
what
a
Moffat
payoff.
was going for in the story, but I just think the story gets sacrificed a little bit of element because of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Phoenix Fire.
As you guys said, because I remember a few days before this episode came out, I was talking to you about it.
Yeah.
And you were saying, "Oh, this is going to be great. This
Yeah.
is going to be thing," and I was agreeing with you.
Yeah.
And I thought, this will be like that one horror episode of Doctor Who that I'll enjoy, because I will watch horror, but like I'm not a huge fan of it like you are.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But I was just so disappointed because I expected something so much better. I honestly don't know what I expected. I just expected something better than what I got.
I expected to be scared by it.
Yeah.
I was scared by it to begin with.
To a degree, I was.
But then, again, there was no payoff.
I mean, at the start, it was Moffat doing what he does best and taking, something that's like everyday and making it twisted and kind of getting inside your head. Because
he's eventually
everyone talks to themselves out loud.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I still do that, and I don't immediately think of this story. When I go out in public and I see like a stone statue, I immediately think Weeping Angel.
Yeah.
That's what I think. But with this, I don't think, because there's no payoff.
There was a decent amount of build up to it, but there was nothing.
There was nothing to make me scared.
That brilliant end of episode buffer from the previous episode, with the Doctor saying that out there will come a slithering from underneath the bed.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yes, it was.
But there was nothing to back it up in the episode.
There wasn't. Well, we'll circle back
and then
around.
there's my other, and just quickly, then there's my other gripe about it. It's just too much Danny.
Yeah. Too much Danny is always going to be a problem. So, Tim, what is your number? What are we up to? 7?
7, yeah. My number 7 is Flatline.
Okay.
I gave this a 6. This is a big jump from a 3 to a 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, Flatline, it's. Oh, I don't know what to say about
It's
Flatline.
kind of like a modern update.
I like
Fear Her, but better.
But I really like Flatline.
Yeah.
It's got that terrifying element of just paintings.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people who just looks at stuff, looks at paintings on a wall and goes, "Oh, it's really cool."
Mm.
But now I'm because of Flatline, not Listen. I'm not going to do anything because of Listen.
Yeah.
But yeah. Because of Flatline, I look at paintings on the wall now and I just go, I'm gonna walk over that way.
That's
So yeah, it's a really cool concept to have creatures from a 2-dimensional universe come into the 3-dimensional world.
It's a really original, and
I don't think I've ever seen that happen before besides Chalk World. Chalk Zone.
That was a great show.
And
you should do that in the video with James.
And funny thing is, number 7 on my list is Flatline, and I gave it a 6.
Yeah.
But
can I just say something?
Continue.
The way they could have taken Flatline is because they're, like you said, it's been done similar with Chalk Zone as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it could have gone another way. But the way they did it was just better. Well, not better, because I didn't like this episode much. But it was, like you said, updated version of Fear Her. But better.
Yeah.
But it was they could have taken it as to be really stupid.
Yeah.
Because it's 2D world.
They could have made it really stupid.
They could have made it insanely stupid,
because
but they actually did a decent job of
they
trying to create
it was
a good story.
It could have fucked up, but it didn't.
Yeah.
And I don't think it is, obviously, because my listing. A lot of people put this as the best of the season. I wouldn't go that far.
I don't do that.
I don't, and a lot of people think it's a lot better than Mummy on the Orient Express, and I don't think that at all.
No.
They're both written by the same person, Jamie Matheson, and after these 2 stories, he's a lot of people's favourite to get showrunner when Moffat leaves. I can definitely see that happening, because I think these 2 episodes he wrote were really original ideas. And they
were well executed.
They were brilliantly executed. Can I say this is an episode I want to frequently rewatch? Probably not. I was left a little bit... my hopes were not high at all for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just kind of like, yeah, that was decent. I don't think I'll put it among my favourites by any means, but I don't exactly have any problems with it. Spike, your thoughts?
To be honest, I'm a bit on the fence with this one because I originally wrote down kind of stupid, but I think at the time I think my opinion has slowly changed. It's on the fence, but there's this good idea that you just got as Tim said, paintings come to life, and and being confined to a 2D face, that's actually kind of terrifying.
Oh,
But I have to admit the idea of creatures coming from a 2-dimensional universe, that seems a bit difficult to swallow.
Yeah, but it's Doctor Who, so
Like I said,
all
it
cards.
Literally
very
nothing's
stupid
not
direction.
like the thing with Doctor Who for me is that I can swallow anything with Doctor Who.
I mean, we had creatures made of fat. Come on here.
And that
we have creatures
We
made
had
of pure leather.
Isolus.
we had creatures
Ladies
made
and
of bubble
gentlemen, we have the return of Rob.
wrap.
Hello.
No.
Good sad.
What the fuck are you guys doing?
The exact
What the
same
fuck
thing.
are you doing?
The exact same thing we were doing the last time
Yeah.
Yeah.
you were here. Well, Tim and I anyway. We're doing our Doctor Who series.
I don't want to know what you and Tim are doing. You two are lying in bed together. I do not want to know what you two are doing.
Yeah, that's right. We were recording a
They were
YouTube
lying in
video
bed together.
in bed.
Is this going on YouTube? His intrusion.
It's gonna have to.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
editing.
I ain't sitting
But anyway,
down.
Think of this. How weirded out would you be if you walked into his room and all you saw was him and him just lying in bed, looking,
Because I've done that.
looking at a computer? How weirded out would you just like walk in and go?
I wouldn't be
"Holy
weirded
shit."
out because I've seen that happen.
you've been a part of that.
Yeah, I have.
But anyway,
I've been a part of it without you.
Oh.
Me and him have done that.
Anyway.
But anyway,
anyway,
What?
But I'm gonna get a drink.
Alright.
yeah, with like in the case of Doctor Who and stuff, like I can pretty much swallow anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's like me and Ninja Turtles. Like this guy was trying to tell me that Ice Cream Cat was stupid. I did not see how stupid it was because of the fact that the main characters are teenagers and mutants and ninjas and turtles who are taught by a rat who is also a ninja.
How do you know?
Nothing
Turtles made
about
in
Ninja
Japan.
Turtles can be stupid
It's-
to me because the concept itself is stupid.
It's because it's a sad.
Nothing about Doctor Who can be stupid to me because the concept itself is stupid.
Just gonna say.
just gonna
Hold
say,
on.
Just gonna say. Stupid aspect of Ninja Turtles.
Ninja.
They're ninjas. Why? The brokers made in Japan. All I'm gonna say.
Ladies and gentlemen, go watch the first episode of the 80s cartoon. They literally try and identify the work of ninjas because the rope was made in Japan.
Stupidest thing.
And
It
the
is
only
the
way
turtles.
the
They're
shredder,
eating pizza.
yeah, the shredder identifies the turtles because they're eating pizza. That's
Stupidest
the
thing about
only
the show.
identifiable fact.
Anyway, back to the Doctor of the Who.
Just before you say that,
Yeah.
Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles was kind of stupid.
Venus in general.
It was
okay.
it was beautiful.
Can we not mention anything involving that god awful Ninja Turtle show?
Okay.
Okay?
You mean the one that has Venus?
No mentioning
Shut up,
it
we don't
anymore.
mention
Oh,
it. Look,
God.
okay, the creator's gonna take this video down because we mentioned her. The creator of
Moving-
Ninja Turtles-
moving back-
sued for mentioning her.
Bringing it back to
You
Doctor
mentioned
Who,
her.
I believe
Yeah.
it was my turn unless Stuart isn't. Are you finished?
Okay, so it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Basically, he was saying it's a hard pill to swallow.
yeah, but.
Which one were we talking about? Flatline.
Flatline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Flatline.
Flatline. Thought so. Okay.
I've had a few hard things to swallow.
Flatline
Grace, come get your boyfriend.
for me was a 4, and like Tim said, I like the idea of paintings come to life because. And like I like the idea of trying to make it a horror type sort of thing, even though it wasn't executed very well in the episode.
I mean, the vocalists look scary.
Yes, they
Yeah.
did. Because do you remember The Witches,
Yeah.
the movie?
Yeah.
Do you remember that story that his grandmother told him about the girl being locked in the place? I got chills when I was hearing that because I thought, wow, because that was well executed. And I just thought, oh.
For God's sake, Rob, no.
What?
Don't.
I actually have to.
Yeah, I haven't got much to say about Flatline. I just
Unplug it. Take it in Joel's room.
That's what I was going to do.
Okay.
But I have to fill it
I
with
haven't got
water.
much to say about
Okay.
Flatline, but
I
when
thought you were just gonna
when
do
I
that,
saw
yeah.
the buffer for it
Good, you know.
in the previous episode, my thoughts immediately drifted to Fear Her.
Yeah.
And I told you that the
Yeah,
next day.
mine was too. Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
I think most people were.
But that's all I have to say about Flatline.
Yeah. Alright, so Tim, you're number 6, I believe we're up.
My number 6 is Caretaker,
Oh, okay.
which I gave a 7.
Okay.
Like, again, this episode doesn't really have much going for it aside from the humor.
Yeah.
But again, I look at these episodes and stuff more from like, did I enjoy this episode and stuff? And in the case of Caretaker, I really enjoyed it. Like, it's a funny episode. It It's just another case of the Doctor being stuck in one place for an extended amount of time.
Just have to say, YouTube community, 2012 Ninja Turtles is still the best series.
You get out! Go away! Close that door.
2003 TMNT.
Anyway,
Thank you. He's joking around, guys. He's just messing. Rob messes around, you guys know that from the last time.
But anyway,
Go the RT Avengers!
Caretaker is it's again, it doesn't do much.
No.
Doesn't have much going for it aside from the humor, but the humor's good enough for me that I can I can stomach the fact that it has nothing else going for it. And Danny's flip over the freaking
That was the only part I like about
there are some episodes where I can say, yeah, I understand why people like that, or I understand why people don't. Then there's others where I'm like, how can someone like that, or how can someone not like that? And Caretaker's kind of one of those episodes. It's like, yeah, okay, I can see why people like it or not. Alright, so my number 6, and I know you're going to have fun talking about this one, Robot of Sherwood. I give this a 7. There are a few...
You have my respect, sir.
There are a few things I hate about this episode.
I know,
We'll get into them.
You've explained these to me much...
We will get into that. We will get into that when we go back round the episodes and sum them up and all of that. But yeah, Mark Gatiss oftentimes can get things right. Sometimes he gets things wrong. I mean, just look at Victory of the Daleks. So again, here's a name that crops up a lot when people think the next showrunner. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see that, but at the same time, I wouldn't. Oh, good God.
Me again, need coffee.
Is that what you came out here for with the kettle, and you literally forgot what you needed?
No, I had to make 2 trips because I couldn't carry the coffee.
Fair enough.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Mark Gatiss is a good writer. Sometimes I kind of would like a writer that I know can do a good job most of the time. Not necessarily all the time, because that would be an impossible task. For most people. But I mean just look at Moffat. He had a perfect streak of 4 episodes going into before he ran the show, and then he dropped the ball. So be careful what you wish for, guys, because let's face it, you know, you might think this person is all well and good, but then he'll actually start running the show.
Once the power gets to their heads, it changes.
And that's what has changed with Moffat. But, alright, so Spike, what did you think of this episode?
Okay, well, first up, Mark Gatiss, he wrote Adventures in Time and Space, and that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, well...
We should do one of these ones. Have you done?
Oh, we covered it. We covered it last time.
Damn!
Here's the coffee. Should have told me about it.
Should have.
Okay, so yeah. Oh yeah, Robert Sherwood. Oh, okay. My issue with Sherwood is that it was all right. It started off okay. It was fun, a lot of fun. But by the time we got, why did they have to introduce the science fiction at the end? Oh God, that just went.
Well, that's actually a thing Tim and I have brought up quite a big deal, is that Doctor Who just can't be sci-fi. I mean, can't be its own thing. It has to always introduce sci-fi. For me, the episode that's the perfect case of it getting ruined is Hyde. Hyde was such a good horror story up until it introduced, okay, so it's this sci-fi element and an additional romance subplot at the very end. It was bad. I don't know if I mean, it's in the episode title, Robot of Sherwood, so you know something
but
sci-fi is coming up.
Okay, but it wasn't really necessary. I mean, one thing.
I'm hoping this is coffee.
It is. It literally says...
It says coffee on the tin.
Yeah, anyway.
Can I speak now? Thank you.
Yes.
One thing that's really bothered me about New Who is that they don't do these pure historicals. I mean...
I don't think there's really a market for them anymore. I mean, they are... I mean...
Sorry.
If I can just say, I don't think Hartnell's era is a particularly interesting era. It was during the time before they established what they wanted with the show, and they were trying to do all of the historical episodes, and it kind of just got ditched, because I think they kind of realised that a lot of people weren't liking them. A lot of the audience were catering more towards the sci-fi.
Right.
I mean, the one thing that Sidney Newman said was no bug-eyed monsters,
And
and the Daleks
Daleks.
are like,
pretty much changed the course of the show completely.
and it's
To
arguably
be, fair,
the Daleks.
to be fair, he underestimated them because
Yeah.
he believed they were going to
And-
be flop.
The
But
Daleks
yeah,
are arguably why Doctor Who is a thing today,
Yeah.
because
Look at Dalek
it probably
Mania.
would have failed. And I do think Hartnell's is probably one of the weaker runs on Doctor Who. I mean, I can name a lot of 10 out of 10 episodes from each of the Doctors. For Hartnell, not so much. Because I don't think he particularly... What?
Two things. One, I need 3 mugs. And 2, I do actually agree with you that Daleks made Doctor Who what it is today.
There
I
you
do
go.
actually agree with you with that.
And this guy hates Doctor Who.
And that's coming from a guy who hates Doctor Who.
So, yeah. I mean...
This one has dirt in it. That's Charles.
Alrighty. But yeah, so that's... I just think the days of pure historicals are pretty much behind us. And I think it's probably for the better, because in a modern sense, I think the reason they put a lot of sci-fi into Doctor Who is because modern audiences expect sci-fi in their sci-fi shows and fantasy in their fantasy shows. And I just think to do a pure historical episode would be a really risky move with today's audience, and frankly, I don't think most of them would have the attention span. to sit
I would
through it.
like to see them try it, at least.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Mark Gatiss would be the man to do it, I reckon.
Yeah.
Me, you cunts.
Like, don't, like,
Stop funny.
maybe, like,
Can't wait to see this on YouTube.
Yeah.
not like a pure historical episode. Like, a pure historical episode that does somehow tie into the plot of the season.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, we're all, from now on, we're pretty much, pretty much confirmed. We're getting, like, season-long
Yeah.
plots.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, we've got them for, like, 8 seasons now. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're getting those.
So that's good.
So if we
Up
get
to him, up.
pure historical, then
Let the
friggin-
man through.
If we get a pure historical, at least let it tie into the plot line. Then we
I
at
wasn't
least
waiting for
can
him to
get.
get up. I was waiting
Yeah.
for him to finish what he was saying.
Oh, okay. Oh, well.
But yeah, I was probably just rambling just then. So
Just so I could say, 2012 TMNT.
I agree. good sir.
Can I have my say on Robot of Shield?
Yep, go ahead. Unless you're done. You're done with... That's all you have to say.
Well, yeah, well,
We'll circle back round to it regardless. Discuss it more
Okay.
in depth.
I've made this clear before, and I respect everyone's opinions on
Yep.
their episode, and everybody has their favourite. And Robot of Sherwood is my favourite
Yep.
of
I
Series
can
8
understand that.
because I liked it. Now, I do agree with you guys that throwing the sci-fi in at the end, it was a little, it's not, it just,
Don't like it was crowbarred in.
yeah,
It does
yeah,
kind
it
of
felt
feel crowbarred
forced.
in.
Yeah.
But, like, I loved Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Like,
Tom Riley did a
He
fantastic
was
job.
a great Robin Hood.
Yeah.
that show was, Hood was a great show. I used to watch that every day.
Mm.
But I love Robin Hood. But one thing I'm not a fan of is romantic subplots in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And like I didn't really like it, the exchange between Robin and Clara.
Yeah.
I feel like they were
Not to
trying
mention it
set
had
up
Clara, so I didn't like it.
Trying to, yeah. Like, it might have not been the intention, but it came off that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Now, as you said, the more historical was the Hartnell area.
Yeah.
And like, as you guys said, adding sci-fi to it feels forced. But there is one Hartnell story that I really, really like that's historical, but it has sci-fi in it, and that's the Time Meddler.
Yes.
With the meddling monk at the Battle of Hastings. I loved that.
Yeah.
And that just made it... When I watched Robot of Sherwood, it made me think of that story. Because it felt very similar. I didn't like much of the exchanges with the sheriff and the slaves.
Yeah.
I preferred most of the stuff focused on the main characters of the episode.
Yeah.
And but all round, it is my favourite, and I give it a 10.
Alrighty. Sweet. Alright, Tim, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Robot of Sherwood.
Ah!
But yeah, it's a good episode.
Yep.
There are some issues that we will get into.
We'll get into those.
But yeah, it's all around. I really enjoy it.
It's a great episode.
As soon
Real
as I
fun.
heard that Robin Hood was going to be in Doctor Who, I was just like,
Although I will say the title's a little bit. They should have called it Robots of Sherwood. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
Robot
but
of
that is-
Sherwood sounds a
It
little
was
misleading.
trying.
I mean, it is
was
talking
I think
mainly about
I
the
think
sheriff.
it was trying to throw you off.
Yeah,
Well, no,
Whereas
it's
making
mainly
you think
talking.
Robin is the robot because that's
Yeah,
what the Doctor
and it's
thinks, and
also-
you're usually inclined to
I
agree
think
with
it's
the Doctor.
usually it's more indirect to the sheriff, but then
Yeah.
also that gives away a massive plot point later,
Mm.
where it's revealed he's a
but yeah,
robot. Oh, not really revealed, but we'll get into that later.
I'm also a big fan of Robin Hood and stuff.
Yep.
Like, I don't really get into a lot of Robin Hood stuff, but I am a big fan of the idea of him.
Yeah, like I'm not the biggest fan,
And-
but
Yeah,
I can appreciate.
The reason I'm a big,
Kind of.
like a large fan of Robin Hood, first ever stage show I saw, Robin Hood.
yeah. But yeah, yeah, it was a
Sweet.
good thing.
Yeah.
Good
Indeed.
thing. Robin
Number
Hood
5 for
stuff.
me, and yeah, I count the Christmas specials that precede a season as part of that season. That's just my weird OCD way of doing it. And number 5 on my list is Last Christmas. I don't think it beats A Christmas Carol, which is personally my favourite
Yes.
of the
Mhm.
Christmas specials. I love it. I mean, I hated it growing up and seeing it for the first time, but watching it back, oh my god, my mind was blown. This comes really close to beating it. And again, it all comes down to like the horror elements in it. I mean, you got Nick Frost, which
As
is
Santa.
like that's perfect casting. But I mean, the dream crabs are like. I mean, it fucks with your mind. This episode, it really
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
But
It's like Inception for Doctor Who.
yeah,
Yeah.
I still haven't figured
that's
out
coming from Doctor
everything
Who.
about it, and which kind of hurts my brain. I'm like, I need to figure this out, but I can't. But I mean, it's such a detraction from what we usually get with Christmas specials, which I'm really glad. Because, like I've mentioned with the RTD ones, they don't feel Christmassy.
Mm.
They just happen to
They
take
happen to be
place at
Christmas themed, but not.
No, there's hardly any Christmas
Well,
thing. The only
They happen.
literal thing
Some
is
of
they
them happen,
take place
happen
at
to happen
Christmas.
at Christmas.
They take place at Christmas, and that's it. Whereas with the Moffat ones, you get, a Christmas sense. You get, that feeling. Which I don't think is there with any of the RTD ones. This one is... I think this feels like an RTD one a bit,
Yeah,
but also a Moffat
pretty much
one.
the only Christmas thing in Last Christmas is the fact that I think it takes place around Christmas,
Yeah.
and the fact
Not
that Santa
strictly
Claus
on
and two elves are in
Christmas
there.
Eve. It takes place in
Yeah.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, so like it
So,
takes
yeah.
place around that Christmas season, and you've got Santa Claus and two elves there.
Yeah.
That's like the only Christmas thing about it.
Yeah.
Other than
Alright.
that, it's a straightforward sci-fi episode.
Yeah. Alright, so I give this an 8. Spike, what did you...
That's the final Matt Smith story.
No, this is...
Oh, no, never.
It's the one with the dream crabs on
No,
the face
I
feathers?
never saw that.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Watch it. I mean, it'll fuck with your mind.
Yay!
The reason
But it's
we
good.
didn't watch it was because it was just too late to watch it, and like our internet's been fucking up all day, and we only just got a top up for it, and by then I mean we're pretty much like you know what, it's too late to watch it now because that would just add another hour on, which means less time to do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, Phoenix
Yeah.
Fire, what did you think of this?
I didn't have a rating for it because I didn't list it among the things because we
Yeah.
didn't watch it.
Yeah.
But like the first time I watched it, I only saw the last half of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I went on to Ivy, watched the whole run through, and it was a good solid episode. I liked it. It was like you said. I think Nick Frost was a perfect casting
It
for
was.
Santa Claus.
Both in name
I never
and
I never actually thought of Nick Frost as
Nick
Santa
Frost.
Claus.
Yeah.
And when I heard about it, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But once I saw his performance, I thought, yeah, that's.
I mean,
And of
they've
course
already
we
had
have-
Simon Pegg.
We have
Yeah, but-
Dan Starkey,
but that was 9 years
aka
ago.
Strax,
Mm.
as
Yeah.
one of the. He was either Ian or Wolf,
Yeah,
the
it
elves.
was one of the elves.
Yeah, but yeah, I really did love this. Tim,
Well, first
Very
of all, I'm going to talk about friggin' Last Christmas.
yeah,
But yeah, we brought this up a couple times. Like, I don't think we brought it up in the videos
maybe
or
not,
anything.
but we'll see.
The ending with old Clara, like, I remember
I
watching
think
that,
we talked about this.
and
maybe.
yeah, I teared up, like, a lot. Not just because I kind of like Clara, and I know you guys probably hate her.
do.
There's no probably about it. You guys hate Clara,
Yes.
and like I'm impartial to her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I teared up during that bit, and I was like, oh my god,
Mhm.
perfect send off.
Yeah.
This is like Donna and a half.
I also just want to clarify why I hate Clara. She's not a character. Plain and simple. The other two versions of her we've seen had more character. And that's saying something because really
Because
all
one
they
of them
had
was a Dalek.
just all they had was just lines of dialogue that just made them, quippy and all of that. I just think this Clara is so. It's not that she has no character; she has too many. We start off with, kind of ordinary girl, then she's a control freak all of a sudden. She takes so many tonal shifts that I don't know. Plus,
I have one word to sum up Clara.
yeah,
Bossy. She's bossy.
I think
but out of
that-
nowhere,
like-
bossy.
Capaldi's bossy.
She's all of a sudden
But she bosses
bossy
him around.
in this series
Yeah.
for no reason.
She was not like that in the last series.
No.
She was different.
I'm actually quite concerned that the focus is shifting more and more on Clara.
Well,
just reducing the
obviously-
Doctor to a sidekick of its own show.
Obviously, Moffat did come out and say the companion is the main character. Not strictly true. The Doctor's the main character,
Yeah.
but the companion's kind of our looking glass
Is the
into
audience
the show.
surrogate. Yeah.
I mean, and that's one of my problems is she attacks Capaldi a lot of the time. She smacks him into the Dalek for no good reason, in my opinion.
She basically
She smacks
gives, she says, well, he's like, why are you giving me that look? Oh, it's a look when I do
I'm
when I
about to
smack
slap you. Yeah,
But for no
for
reason.
no reason. And that also, if we're supposed to feel for Clara and feel the same emotions that she's feeling, that's just going to channel all of those people that were saying he's too old for the role when Capaldi was announced. Bullshit.
Yeah.
He's too young for the role. I loved it when Capaldi came out and said that. I'm like, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But it's just going to give more of those, and that's why I don't really like the Matt Smith cameo in Deep Breath. Is because that's also going to make people think, oh, great, now I miss Matt.
Yeah.
It could be kind of like in Bells of St. John, Artie's reading the book and it's written by Amy. And that probably reminded people of Amy. And that, although this is even more so,
But anyway, going
sorry.
off, we went way off topic.
sorry, I was
there.
just trying to
But
just
again,
say.
going off topic again, just
I hate
to
Clara.
really quick bring up a little thought I had a couple days ago.
Yep.
You could put Clara's whole friggin' character shifting thing that she does in Series 8 down to the fact that she was literally split into like thousands of different incarnations
Yeah.
when she jumped into the Doctor's time stream.
Here's my thoughts
and
on
then
that.
brought back out of that again.
Here's my thoughts.
So you could put that down to, like, this is just me trying
Then
to make sense
show
from
that.
shitty writing.
They don't even show them coming out at the time.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm just trying to make sense of this. But yeah, just my thought is that she's come out of that, and then all those different Claras have retained in her mind, and she's just
Maybe.
trying to sort through them to get
then-
through to the real Clara.
Can I just add to that?
Yep.
Now, when she did that, the only thing I could think of was Bad Wolf.
Yeah.
Because it's done
Let's be
done
real.
differently, but it's basically the same thing.
Yeah,
She's sows herself throughout the Doctor's time stream instead of sowing the
Let's
words
be
bad
real.
wolf throughout time.
let's be real though. Clara is literally Moffat's Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. And at this point, I believe she is the longest-serving companion of the new show. I believe.
I think so.
Yeah. And spoiler alert for Series 9. If you have literally stayed completely
Off the radar.
off the radar for Series 9, I'll give you a thumbs up when you can unmute, okay? I'll just give you a little brief second to pause the video in case you're fucking up. Alright, of course the news coming out that Jenna Coleman is leaving the show. Some theorize before the end of the series, or at the end, whatever way you see it. Is Clara leaving a good thing?
I think yes.
In my opinion,
Like
yes.
I
Agreed.
like Clara, but I think that she does need to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some would debate she should have left earlier, and I could kind of see that. I do think she needed probably this one extra season with Capaldi, just to kind of get like a little, probably a few more people on her side.
I feel that
Because I think she needs to
Series
show
9
more interaction with Capaldi because, I mean, I
Series
love
9 needs to let her be a character.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to happen because we all know
No.
how Moffat writes women.
Yeah. He writes them all the same.
Yeah. So, okay.
Again, give us a new showrunner.
Okay,
so we can
Tim,
have better written
we'll
women.
jump to you first with this. Should she die or not?
Oh my god. Yes.
Phoenix Fire.
Or at least leave on bad terms.
Okay. I have a couple of thoughts on this, but two. One thought, yes, and she shouldn't come back. Either that, or she goes out on a good whim, dies, but being the impossible, comes back and then just continues to live her own life.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Alright, Spike. Your opinions on
Good
this?
question. I actually go with the second suggestion, mate. There.
Yep, okay.
It actually seems the most plausible.
She needs to die. And here's why. She said goodbye to the Doctor so many times. She's left that TARDIS so many times.
And she keeps coming back.
That she keeps coming back when she finally does leave for good. I mean, we know she's leaving for good, but it's not going to feel genuine. It's not going to feel like it
because
because we've seen it
so many times already.
She has done it so many times, but she's just come back. And, I mean, I loved that ending to Last Christmas.
And then it just got shat on.
Shat on completely. And obviously, at that point, Jenna didn't know what she was going to do. So they did film that as the intended ending, but tacked on that, oh, it's just a dream thing. I know we're probably spoiling that episode for you, but you won't know. You know that she's returning anyway.
It would, just about that, because it got shat on. I think she needs another, because as you said, she wasn't sure what she wanted to do there.
Yeah.
If they hadn't shat on it, it would have been okay. It would have been a good enough send off.
I actually
because
got
it got shat on, even though I don't like Clara, I still think she deserves a proper send off.
Yeah.
They're not getting shit on.
I really liked that ending, and I was like, damn, that's emotional. That makes me sad.
Yeah.
And they just shat all over it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just not good. So that's my reasoning as to why she needs to die. Yeah.
Anyway, going actually...
So, thumbs up, guys. Thumbs up. You can come back now.
Yes.
Going back onto the actual list.
Yep, so your number...
my number...
5?
Four. Yeah. Mummy on the Orient Express.
Yep.
Like that,
Strong.
it's a really good episode.
It is. Your rating for it?
8.
8. Well, I'm also in that...
Really good episode. That's all I have to say.
Number 4 for me is Mummy on the Orient Express, but I give this a 9.
Oh, yeah.
Again, it's just the case of I don't think I can give it a 10 for whatever reason. Some people have pointed out the timing with the foretold is a little off. I mean, it's a little sketchy as to, the 66 seconds thing.
Because
and it always syncs up with the clock when the scenarios aren't exactly right. Like, sometimes the foretold will touch the person beforehand, but then they won't die until the 66 seconds is done. Little nitpicky things, but it does this viewing in particular, it took me out of the episode, and I kind of did notice it a little bit more. But it's a really strong episode, and just proof that if he can do a good job, I don't know if he's writing for any in this series, in Series 9, but Jamie Matheson could potentially be a really good showrunner. I still think he needs to probably get a few more under his belt before he can go on.
Because two episodes.
But Moffat did write 4 before moving on as showrunner. But
in my opinion, 2 episodes, and one of those episodes being just a slightly iffy episode, being Flatline.
Yep.
It doesn't really seem like a good portfolio to be able to just go, oh, there you go.
Yes. But they're such original ideas.
Yeah, true.
In a show where I think we need it.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, original ideas now are few and far between. There are a few episodes now where I can say, that's kind of like a modern update of this. Like, Bells of St. John is so much like Idiot's Lantern. It's not funny. And I wouldn't say Flatline's a dead ringer to fear her, but there's a
It's
lot
slightly
of
improved.
There's a resemblance.
there's a lot of
Do
you know.
you think it's a bad thing that they're going over and treading?
Not necessarily because, like I said, and that's why I'm always on the side of reboots and remakes because it is hard to come up with original ideas in an industry that's been going on as much as film and television
50
has.
plus years.
Not just Doctor Who, but
yeah.
in anything. Like I said, Into the Daleks not an original idea by any means, but to Doctor Who, it's an original idea.
Yeah.
Well, debatable because the invisible enemy. But yeah, I mean, to new viewers it will be. But it doesn't feel original. So, you know, I will always defend reboots and remakes.
Always.
Always. Because I mean, can I just say, being a horror fan, people who always come out and say, oh, I hated that, it's basically a carbon copy of the original, it didn't do anything new. Cases in point are the Omen remake, which I personally love. I love that Omen remake. I love the original as well, don't get me wrong. But then, when they do something new, they always come out and say, oh, why'd they change that? That was stupid! So it makes no sense. Like, I love the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I'm just going to say right now, I love that.
That's like the only
I
Nightmare on Elm Street
didn't like
movie
it, but
I've
I
seen.
respect your opinions.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
But that's it. I'll do a whole video on that later, guys.
Okay, that was okay, but I would have loved to have seen Robert Englund as Freddy in that movie.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice to see him back in that role.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I can't remember how long ago, we did lose Wes Craven.
That was a few
sadly,
weeks.
a few weeks ago. I mean, and I can just see it now. I mean, I think a reboot. I was going to say remake, but then change reboot. Whatever, is in the works now, apparently. A new remake of the franchise. And I can see it now, but a lot of people are going to use the death of Wes Craven against this movie and say, don't make it happen, it will be a scourge on the franchise and in the memory. And
He would not have approved of this.
Yeah, well, you know, I just think remakes are always going to be things that happen, so people just kind of need to, you know, relax because...
Fucking deal.
Yeah, I mean...
There's nothing you can do about to stop it unless you...
Yeah.
Unless you can think of something original.
Exactly.
Okay. Here's some food for thought. Alfred Hitchcock actually remade his own movie.
Yeah.
The Man Who Knew Too Much. Why? Because he felt he could have done a better job the second time around.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah.
He's the master of suspense.
But anyway, moving
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
Spike, what did you think of Mummy on the
You
Orient
know what?
Express here?
I actually find a lot of criticism against this kind of odd because I think this was probably my favourite episode of the series because, like you said, it's got this psychological horror and it is Doctor Who does horror very well and it is actually quite horrific to see this building up of dread. You know, you've got 60 seconds of life left before this giant monster goes.
The practical effects on that mummy are beautiful.
Oh, yes.
Character options. Make a 5.5-inch figure of that now before I make a custom of it. Get frustrated in making that custom, and then you release one anyway. Because my custom's going to be better.
I wonder, did they call that character Perkins in relation to Anthony Perkins?
I'm not sure.
Okay, Anthony Perkins, he was on the movie of Murder of the Orient Express. So
Maybe, I mean,
likely.
they could have done. But, Perkins, I like that character as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for some reason, there's certain episodes that when I think, is that a 10 out of 10? Some don't make that cut. Sadly, Mummy is one of those things where I can only give it a 9. And I'm not sure why. There's just something inside me that just... I'm lying to myself when I give it a 10. Because when I think 10 out of 10 episodes, is this among it? I don't think so. But it's a really strong episode taking nothing away from it. Phoenix Fire, you're up.
Mummy on the Orient Express is my second favourite episode of Series 8, and I give that a solid 9.
Yep.
And, like you said, practical effects.
Beautiful.
Because
I will always
the
prefer practical
CGI of the skeletons
CGI.
in Darkwater
Yeah.
Did not like it.
No,
At
it
all.
didn't look really good.
No. But I love practical effects.
And the CGI on Scout X face in Cold War.
Yeah, no.
Was, no. I mean, I don't like it. They showed that face to begin with.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
no. But yeah.
Maybe they spent all their
And
a big budget on the practical effects of Orient Express. They had little left over.
can I just say that practical effects aren't always the way to go, I'll admit, but don't CG everything. I think one thing that's cool is Killer Croc in the Suicide Squad movie is practical effects, and I think only touched up by CGI.
Yeah.
And one of my favourite movies of all time is Evil Dead. That
has great practical effects and
Yeah.
some...
And the new one, in particular, the 2013 one, not a remake, only uses CG as touch-up.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's a modern movie using practical effects. I mean,
It
I'm
is-
not a fan of the first Evil Dead. That drags on way too long.
Well,
the weakest.
the practical effects in that were
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
a B-grade movie.
But Army of Darkness has practical effects. Yeah.
Army of Darkness is fantastic.
Early Sam Raimi films were actually quite good with practical effects.
Yeah. Anyway.
You really need a balance between practical and CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It only
You
works
want a really
when you
good
can't
mix.
tell the difference
I
between
think
the
CG should be touch-up only.
Yeah.
Mainly. Unless, of course, there's something so ridiculously something like the Beast
Yeah.
in Satan Pit. I mean, that CG is bad, but I don't see any way of
You
making
wouldn't-
that practical.
Yeah.
Without making it look completely goofy.
Yeah, obviously they'd have to make it practical and then like
You don't want
put
it to
it
end
on
up, you
green
don't want it,
screen.
you don't want it to end up looking like
Yeah.
Yoda in Phantom Menace.
Exactly.
But yeah, in terms of practical effects, like I do love them.
Yeah.
They look amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, there are some
They look-
things that you
they
can't
look
do
amazing.
with practical
Yeah,
effects,
exactly.
and sometimes you
But
just
then
need
there's
to do
some
them with
things you
CG.
shouldn't do with CG
Yeah.
as well. And I think when you look at the ratio, I think there are a lot more things that shouldn't have to be CG versus practical effects.
There's one thing I can note of it where I think a practical effect should have been used instead of CG,
Mhm.
and I reckon they could have done it because I'm talking about Game of Thrones, and their budget is $5 million an episode.
Yep.
And when Ned Stark was killed, spoilers, because
Well, everyone, let's face it. The entire
if you haven't
internet
watched it,
knows.
what the hell?
The entire internet knows.
But,
Let's face it.
When Joffrey puts his head on the spike,
Yeah.
it's CG and and it just doesn't look right.
No.
Yeah.
But they could. For some reason, I don't understand why they didn't use the prosthetic of where he was beheaded.
Yeah.
Because that was a decent looking prosthetic. They could have just shoved that on the spike.
Yeah.
And had a practical effect, but they used it CG and it looked terrible.
Yeah.
You can't just behead Sean
I mean,
Connery.
I'm just gonna say.
No, but everybody else.
I'm just gonna
beheads
say, as bad as Puppet Yoda looks in the Phantom Menace, when they went over him with CG, it looks wrong.
Yeah.
Like, listening to the lines of dialogue, and I couldn't sit through it. I mean, I do love CG Yoda.
Yeah.
Because he is
good
more active in those
good
two
in Revenge of the
particular
Sith.
movies. So yeah, but
But as I was,
Can you imagine if they tried to do the lightsaber fight in
With a-
friggin' Attack of the Clones with Puppet Yoda?
you wouldn't,
oh my god.
or you know, with real non-CGI Christopher Lee. Because
Christopher Lee was
Christopher Lee was actually a brilliant swordsman.
He was.
But just the shit in that
and
that
a
fight scene.
musician,
he could do.
apparently.
One
Oh,
thing-
yeah, he wrote
I haven't listened to
one
any
thing-
German metal.
I have to.
I've
listen
heard
to
it, it's
just
amazing.
to hear it.
One thing about friggin' just going back to practical and CG again, and again to Star Wars, one thing that I felt did not need to be CG in the prequels, in particular, literally just in the prequels, is every clone trooper
Yes.
is fucking CG.
Yes.
I did not notice this.
Yes.
So, like, the CG doesn't look bad by any means, but it does. It's really jarring to watch.
Yeah, it is.
Just-
now that I know
They're
it's
all
there.
CG, and I can't deal with
Yeah,
that.
no.
The one thing with practical effects, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. That scene where there's with the multiple jacks on the Black Pearl when he's in the locker. See, that was half done with practical extras dressed as Jack Sparrow, but then added CGI of Johnny Depp over the top of them.
Yeah.
and it was actually done pretty well.
Yeah, it was.
Even though apparently people don't like that movie, even though I liked it. But back to
Kind of stopped watching.
Back to Doctor.
back to Mummy on the Orient Express.
Yes.
Good, solid episode. I loved it. And like, I'm not gonna lie,
Fantastic.
some people would cringe at it, but I like the little references to previous episodes and previous season. And when he said, "Are you my mummy?" I went,
I died.
Because I do the Omega Files with Dr. Frim. Go check that out. I mentioned in the Kill the Moon episode, I'm like, if there is a fucking reference to the empty child, I'm gonna fucking facepalm hard. And I believe Mummy on the Orient Express, no, Kill the Moon might have been. But I did a reaction and started doing Series 8 reactions, which didn't really last for very long. I think I only did Kill the Moon and Mummy. But I actually think you can see me facepalming really hard when he says that.
oh, I facepalmed, but I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I was like,
But-
for fuck's sake.
It was a
Done.
facepalm that makes you smile.
But
Yeah.
like you said, the mummy looked great.
Yeah, it did.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
I agree with it. The timing of it wasn't.
Yeah, no, that's
wasn't
probably a
bang on.
nitpicky thing though.
Although, to be fair, given the length of the episode, it could have, if given a little more leeway and perhaps a little bit more adding on to the story, it could have been a two-parter, perhaps.
Probably.
But it would have given it more time to flesh out the story.
Maybe, yeah.
It would, to me, for some reason, I don't know. It's just me. I think it felt a little rushed.
Yeah.
in areas.
In
I can
areas,
get
it
that.
felt rushed.
I've been getting that generally with the new Who because I don't think 45 minutes is
No.
enough to tell the story.
Exactly. No.
But particularly when you've got like these monster where everyone's just being picked off one at a time. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, that character died. No.
But then again, I don't think. I mean, that is just a sign of the times of where we're at with television.
Yeah.
I mean, cliffhangers at the end of every episode, like, you know, if we had, say, we did have one 20-minute episode a week. But also, Classic Who can feel really long.
Yeah.
Like, even though there's like 20-minute episodes, a lot of it feels like padding. That is one also major issue I have with Hartnell's era. I mean, Hartnell had a lot of like 7-parters and
There was stuff that was good, but there was the stuff. It was the in between stuff, like in between the Unearthly Child and the Time Meddler. There was stuff like that was just.
I mean, I don't like.
it didn't feel 100%. It was there to fill the TV spot.
It's just kind of, you know, and that is I mean, it's really pick your poison. Do you want it to slow and to take its time, or do you want it to kind of feel a bit fast paced? But you know.
I think,
but with that being
I think-
said, one of my favorite episodes, and we'll get to that in the topic of the week. One of my favorites is the War Games, which is a 10-parter, and I don't think that drags at all. And it's very rare that I can sit through a Classic Who story in one sitting. I have to usually pause at like the 3rd episode or something and take a little small break. Here, I just went through it, and I had a fun time watching that episode. So, you know, typically I like things to take its time. Like, that's one thing I thought Age of Ultron did horribly, was the pacing issues. Before you could get time to get adjusted to something, you were on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Whereas the Avengers kind of took it on a slow boil, and that was kind of cool. It picked up over time,
And, like-
which a lot of people didn't like because, you know, we sat through all this build-up with all these movies, and now we have to sit through
To be
this
fair,
much
it
build-up.
was sort of necessary because you had to establish something.
You have to
begin-
establish the team. You've
Yeah.
established the members of the team, but you
in
haven't
their
established
own
them as a
movies.
team.
Yeah, but not to mention they had
Take
to
that, people
had
who
to,
put that
had
against
to at
Avengers.
least slightly establish Hawkeye and Black Widow.
Yeah. Anyway,
And-
we should probably just get back on
To
track.
recap.
Yeah,
To add
recap.
one more thing,
Yep.
I would have liked to have seen the addition of a character in Mummy on the Orient Express who was like, I don't know, like the hothead, even though I don't really like characters like that in Doctor Who because they usually go and fucking mess things up.
Yeah, usually.
But I would
There's
have
a
liked
lot-
to have
like
seen
that.
I would have liked to
Like
once.
that twat in fucking Cold War. The one who's
Yeah.
always questioning the captain and he just ends up dying. Like, nothing comes from him.
I would have liked to see one who's like, I want like a Ricky type character.
Yeah.
Ricky Smith.
Yes.
I would have liked to have seen that and him go right up to the mummy.
Yeah.
And like I wanted to see like just so it would show that it would take exactly 66 seconds for it
Yeah.
to kill. So I wanted to see it like hesitate to kill him.
Yeah,
or
like if it
66
just
seconds or
stands
something.
there and just looks at him.
Yeah.
Or something
And
like that.
I think they could have got some information from that. Like
Yeah,
the doctor
maybe.
could have gathered.
Because
But,
it is kind of like weird how sometimes like it will literally have its hands on a guy.
Yeah.
But it won't do
with
anything.
about 6 seconds.
Yeah,
before
with about like
the
6 seconds.
with the
before it
captain at
does.
about 8 seconds. It's
Yeah.
just went. It slowly came in
Yeah.
and then grabbed him and about
And you can kind of see
with
between
about-
shots, it's like this, and then it's like way back here.
yeah with
So
about
maybe that's
3
an
seconds.
editing thing.
With about 3 seconds seconds to go, it finally latched onto him, and 3
Yeah.
seconds.
Like,
after
I'm not sure if on set they were exactly timing how long everything was.
Yeah.
Which they probably should have been
Yeah.
or something, but that could be down to the editing or something.
But winding my thing up, it was a good episode.
Yeah,
I
it was.
loved it, and yeah, it was. I thought it was great. It was
Yeah,
solid.
alright. Tim, you're number 3.
My number 3 is Time Heist.
Time Heist.
Because it was a really friggin' rad episode.
It was.
Like,
Yeah, it was.
I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Doctor Who like this.
Yeah, no.
Like,
Heist story.
yeah, I love
Not
heist
really.
stories.
Yeah.
I didn't know I loved heist stories until this episode. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see more
Like,
heist
I don't
stories.
watch heist movies.
No.
but
I don't want.
I
don't
do.
really.
This
want to
doesn't
watch-
necessarily make me want to go out and watch any.
Yeah.
Because
Can I just recommend, if you're going to watch a heist movie, watch the 1969 Italian Job.
alrighty, I've heard
That's-
that a lot. Yeah.
Don't watch the 2003 one. No, God, no.
Yeah. This
'Cause
this
that's a
movie.
great heist
Not movie. Fuck. This episode.
This episode.
This episode does the heist thing really well.
Yeah.
Especially with the fact, spoilers, the Doctor is the one that sets it up in the end through
Brilliant.
time travel.
I didn't see that coming. Did any of you see that?
I did not see that coming, and that's why
Some
I loved
people-
it.
I didn't see it until...
A lot of people do say, "Oh yeah, I saw that coming," which I think they're kind of full of shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Clara was a Osmond was a Dalek all
Yeah.
along kind of thing. When people say, "Yeah, I saw that coming," I'm like,
It's like, no,
you
you're
didn't.
bullshitting.
No.
You're bullshitting.
Yeah.
and a few people
They just want to
say,
seem superior to some other people.
yeah,
Then just not because...
yeah. All right. So in the third position for me is Deep Breath.
Obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
he raves on about
now
it.
I give this a 9, but that's because I have seen it
Oh,
a
I gave
lot.
Time Heist an 8.
Okay. I have seen this a lot, and it is one of those episodes that, you know, can kind of drag. I mean, it is 75 minutes long, and you can kind of pinpoint the scenes that were jammed in there. I mean, the one thing you said when we were watching it was, did that scene feel necessary with the Strax examining
Yeah.
Clara thing? And if you know what was going on there, Blue Peter, I believe it was Blue Peter, held a competition for the kids to design sonic devices for the Paternoster game.
That was Blue Theatre.
Jenny got the gauntlet that she scans the dinosaur with. Vastra gets the hat pin that locks the carriage, and Strax got the thing. So, I mean, those are really kind of just there for the kids and all of that, which is nice that they did that. But they do kind of feel, you know, Giorno. More so with the Strax part, because Strax gets like this whole scene, but Jenny and Vastra's just going to get brief kind of things.
To be fair, most of the people watching wouldn't know that Blue Peter was involved with that, so
Yeah.
they just brush it off as, oh, it's just a scene
Yeah.
that they just
So
decided
a
to put
few
it in there.
scenes do kind of feel like padding, but there is that kind of, is this a 10 out of 10 factor for me? So that's why I give this a 9. My opinions of it aren't as strong as they were when I originally watched it.
Yeah, you raved to me
Oh,
the next
yeah.
day about it.
Like, I still love this. I think it's a fantastic story, but, you know, did it need to be 75 minutes? You can be judge of
Probably
that.
not, no.
Probably a little shorter, yeah. I mean, they did release this in cinema, so that is
Yeah.
one part. But, yeah, so, Spike, what did you think of
Well, I thought it was two halves, right? The first was kind of dull, but the second one was
The second
really
picks up.
picking up. Yes, definitely. Second half was brilliant.
Yeah.
With the Doctor and Clara in the restaurant and the going in that underground area
Yeah,
afterwards.
the
Yeah,
bar.
that was fantastic. But Yeah, the first half, that
The
was
first
just
half just okay.
dull.
Yeah, it is around. Doesn't do
Well, it
much.
was sort of establishing a
Kind of
little
set
bit,
up.
just Capaldi trying to
Yeah.
fit into his
But
role.
it's not really Capaldi in it a
Well,
lot. And
yeah, I
that's-
know.
That's one thing you can say about the entirety of Series 8. It's
Yeah.
not really Capaldi's show.
No.
I
It's
mean,
Clara's
it's
show.
Clara
Clara's
trying
show.
to adjust to Capaldi's show.
It's, no, well, it's,
And
it's
that's another thing. The companions, I mean, I am personally glad that the new series has at least tried to give them some more character. Because a lot of the classic companions kind of feel like just walking boards with no real... They're just sex appeal kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, a few of them transcend that and become really great companions. But, like, Ben and Polly, Dodo, Vicky... A lot of the earlier ones were just kind of, why are you here? What purpose do you serve? And then the others are just downright hateable. I mean, we got fucking Adric, Mel Bush.
Oh god.
But then you got those really good ones like Joe Grant, Jamie McCrimmon.
Yay!
I like
Jamie
Zoe. Ace is my favorite.
Ace, everybody
Ace
loves
is my
Ace.
favorite. I mean, you can
can't
see
hate
now
Ace.
Spike's all dressed up. But yeah,
And like for you Whovians that like are still getting into the classic series and like, who's Ace? Just she's the girl that
play.
beats up a Dalek with a baseball bat.
yes. Alright, so are you done? talking about the episode,
gee,
or-
I don't know. I still don't know what the purpose of Vestra and
first-
Jenny is, but
Jenny and Vastra. Do you mean like the characters or
But-
why they're married or just
well,
anything
just-
in particular?
characters in general.
I think it's just for them to be along for the ride. I think just to fill out the
Did they
roster.
I mean,
I think it
I
was
just
just
theorising.
so
Did
the
people-
Doctor could have his own
Yeah.
version
I mean,
of the Avengers.
did
and Good Man Goes to War.
people love them in Good Man Goes to War? That's probably why they came back. I don't know why. I mean, I can
I
imagine
think the reason
Strax-
To be fair, we
I
haven't
think the
seen
reason
them
was
since.
that Moffat liked them.
Yeah.
That's why he brought
I mean,
them.
I personally don't mind them. They're fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate Strax, but I love Strax.
I'm beginning to doubt if Strax is a Sontaran, because if he was, he wouldn't have surrendered to an enemy, and he would have sort of blown himself up.
Well, he does go to kill himself in this episode,
Yeah,
to be fair, before he's going to be killed or anything. I mean, there are multiple ways you can read that scene. Some theorize that he's going to shoot himself so that he doesn't give up his friends, or he's shooting himself so he doesn't die at the hands of whatever. But yeah, alright, so what did you think of this, Phoenix Fire?
Well, first of all, my mark, I gave it a good solid 8.
Yep.
Because I like it. I thought it was a really good opener.
Yep.
The Series 8. And like you said, the pacing, I was
Kind of,
iffy. Sort of slow in parts. But I do like a decent bit of comedy in Doctor Who.
yeah.
And the exchange between when the Doctor is still trying to figure out why is everybody talking differently,
Yeah.
and then Vastra just starts talking in Scottish.
You've all
accent.
done it to fault!
Yeah, and
Brilliant.
then he sees Strax. He's like, Clara. Oh,
Very
similar
similar
heights.
You should
And-
read labels.
And shall I send the paper up?
The Times. Shall I send it up?
Yes.
Yeah, why not? Shot! Headshot.
But
Brilliant.
yeah, the dinosaur was sort of. I was sort of like, why is there a dinosaur there? And it was only there to be killed,
Basically.
But I thought, we've
I
done
thought
a
it
lot.
was
We've
out,
done some
okay.
stuff with dinosaurs in the past.
I think it's kind of like to say, look at this CGI. Aren't we awesome?
Yeah.
We spent money on this dinosaur!
And then
I'm getting a lot of that from New Who, actually.
yeah.
Yeah, but
And
it's
then-
not real good.
As it went on, I thought it was getting better. I felt it was getting better as it went on.
Yeah.
And once they got into the restaurant and into the larder,
Yeah.
who was? Do you know the name of the character who played the?
The actor?
The actor who played Half-Face Man.
Yes.
Peter something. I know that much.
I didn't like, for some reason, it's just me, I didn't really like his voice.
I mean,
He sounded too quiet, but that's
I
just
think
me.
that's kind of
being
the point.
I
But,
am a robot.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's like, and like he said, he's like harvesting people, and as I said before, I love references, so, and I like, God damn it, I forgot.
Girl in the Fireplace?
Girl in the Fireplace. I love that episode.
It's great.
I love it so much, and when he referenced the Madame de Pompadour, I went,
Yeah. I'm so glad to see the Clockwork Droid's back.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I was
but a
glad
different
to see it.
version of
Yeah,
it, which is cool.
I was glad to see that. Because, like you said before, reboots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see a
Marvel.
complete reboot of Girl in the Fireplace because I loved Girl in the Fireplace so much.
Just can't wait.
I didn't want to see the exact same thing.
No.
But
That's good.
I remember, and the ending of it sort of gave me chills because that look that the 12th Doctor gives to the camera right at the end.
Now,
and I remember seeing you the next day, and we were walking across the thing to go to KFC or somewhere, and I said, "So, pushed or jumped?" And you said, "Yeah, pushed."
Yeah.
And I agreed with you.
But that's the thing. I've had a year to think about it, and I'm not so sure even now.
I'm not fully backing up it, but I still think pushed.
I'm sitting there focusing on the first time at least, focusing on the 12th Doctor and everything he's doing. But when you actually watch it and kind of focus more attention to the half-faced man, you kind of see this like bridging arc thing. So I'm completely confused. I don't know if
it's starting to confuse me.
I'm thinking just the slightest bit he jumped.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when Capaldi says, you know, one of us is lying about our basic programming, and he's like, you know which one it is. The half-faced man says yes, like he knows he's the one who's gonna jump.
Yeah.
So it's really weird to kind of get this.
Because he's a robot turning himself into a human, but if he goes off the logic of most robots will be willing to relinquish their lives to protect it.
The thing is, I hope it's never answered at all. Just leave it, please.
I don't
leave
really
it to
want
the
to
imagination. Just please.
But-
Okay?
It's like room number 11. Just leave it a mystery.
Yeah.
They never did.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
That's my grade. Good solid 8. I liked it. It was good. I think it got better towards the end.
Sweet. Yep. All right. Tim, your number 2.
My number 2 is Deep Breath. Like, it's a really funny episode.
Yep.
It's a really frightening episode at some points.
Indeed.
And I just love 12 trying to get into his whole thing.
Yeah.
Like where he goes to the door and he's like,
Dooring, not me.
Window,
me.
I'm going to have to relieve you of your pet.
I was talking to the horse.
Shut up! I was talking to the horse. Yeah. Brilliant.
It's just
the horse made me think. The horse made me think of Arthur.
Yes. I will admit, okay, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I didn't mind the logic Clara applied to that scene with the half-faced man when, he says, you'll tell me where he is or I'll kill you. And then she says, she basically backs him up on his throat. It's like, go on.
Yeah.
And then the logic she applied there, never start with your final sanction because you can only go backwards. I hate Clara. To the fucking moon and back. Which, by the way...
The one that exploded.
Yeah, the baby. But, I mean... Yeah. I did like that scene, and she actually had some great logic there, I will admit. So yeah, moving on to my number 2, Time Heist. I mean... It's funny because this is one of my least favourite Capaldi costumes that he wears because there's an abundance of blue.
Yeah.
And I don't like one colour. It's only slightly beaten out by the it's completely beaten out by Kill the Moon's costume. Fuck that polka dot shirt, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I will never own that.
What about the shirt in the prequel?
Oh, the prequel! Oh, don't get me started on that.
I looked at him like, is he wearing a Nirvana shirt? But he wasn't. But it was that style of shirt.
Oh, I hate it when the Doctor wears branded
I liked
clothes.
the jacket though.
The jacket was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the red buttons.
Yeah.
Button. So Time Heist gets a 10 from me. I mean, there are a few problems, I will admit.
Oh, again,
But-
I forgot the ranking. Deep Breath gets a 9.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, same here. Love Time Heist. 10 out of fucking 10. This was, for a while, up until obviously number 1, which we'll get to, was my favourite episode of the season. And I just think it's a really good, compelling story, and a good case in point if the villain doesn't always have to be the villain. Of course, I hate that in most occasions, but... Oh, well, Spike, what do you think of Time Heist here?
Well, there's not really much I can add based on you and Tim's assessment. It's just great to see Doctor Who trying a heist story.
Yeah, exactly. Great. And Phoenix Fire.
Yeah, as I agree with you guys completely. It felt like a heist movie, and well, actually, no, I thought it felt like I was playing the final heist for GTA 5.
Yeah.
But cooler.
Yeah.
Because it's Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And it was a good, solid episode. Like, I don't love it as much as you guys do, but I do think it was a great episode. And it's my probably my third favourite.
Probably.
And I give it a good, solid 8.
Yep. Alrighty. And Tim, of course, our number 1 is
Dark Water / Death in Heaven.
Which one's the better part? Go.
Oh my god.
For me, it's only by the slightest smidge Dark Water.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Dark Water as well.
Death in Heaven does feel like it just meanders around a bit and doesn't really do a hell of a lot. It's a really simple story.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a lot of grand explanation.
Dark Water disturbed me more.
Dark Water is very disturbing. A lot of people complained about the dead field. They remain conscious.
Yeah.
A lot of people were complaining about that. And it was I know a few people said that around that time they had lost ones close to them, and that distressed them. So, in a sense, yes, I can see where they're coming from, but at the same time, it's a TV show, and I think people just kind of have to be mindful of that it is a TV show, and I understand around that time you can be very distressed. Like, if someone's just lost someone, and you hear that, I'd probably be really distressed too. But, it is, in the end, it is a TV show.
Yep.
And even in the show, it's not strictly the afterlife. So, yeah, I can see where people are coming from.
But yeah, this is just a really cool idea. And I'm surprised no one's ever thought of actually using the dead as Cybermen.
Yeah.
And just the visuals of Cybermen rising from graves is just
terrifying.
It's like a zombie movie, but
it's like a zombie movie, but they're Iron Man.
And one funny thing always I laugh at is whenever there's a scene in the graveyard, never focus on what's happening. Always look in the background, and you will see some of the most hilarious shit going on. There'll be Cybermen just be like, and it's hilarious.
It's like they've just risen from the grave.
And there's some that look so depressed, like,
because they were quite content being dead. And now they're back as metal men.
Yeah. So Spike, what do you think of this?
Yeah. Oh man. We'll
talk about the great reveal at the end.
Okay.
We'll save that for when we recap the episode.
Okay, Dark Water. My first note here is needs more pirates.
Yeah, I can see that.
None of you got that joke, right?
Not really.
Okay, we'll move on then. Okay, so
you said, I can see that.
Well, no, but how do you know some of those Cybermen weren't pirates?
I want a Cyberman to rise from the grave and just wearing the buccaneer.
Got a cyber parrot on his shoulder. Cyber parrot on the cyber shoulder.
It's one of those plastic robot parrots you used to get from the Hobart show.
Cyber eye patch. Cyber hook.
Anyway, but also second thought, the idea of the afterlife being represented by an opera block. I was kind of reminded of that Moby music video Run On. Does anyone know that one?
No.
Oh, damn it, I'm talking about things from the 90s, but you're all... This will
I will
for you.
Google it after.
Okay, right. Okay, so, I personally think Dark Water was the stronger of the two, because, as Tim said, it's actually a really compelling idea, and it's just...
Were you personally distressed by the dead remain conscious Did you see
No,
a personal problem with that?
No, because it's TV.
Yeah, exactly. Could you see where the other people were coming from with that?
Yes. Yeah, I could. Yeah.
Alright, Phoenix Fire, same question for you.
Yeah. Well, it didn't affect me as much.
Yeah.
As you said, it's TV.
Yeah.
But I do see how it could be distressing to someone who has lost someone close to them recently.
Yeah, I know I mentioned him a few times in the video. Trilby Reviews went through something similar. And yeah. So I can see where definitely they were coming from with that.
But Dark Order was my favourite of the two.
Yep. I can see that.
And I've said as I've said many times here, I don't like Clara or Danny.
Yeah.
And I really don't like Danny.
Yeah.
But when Clara was on the phone to him, and there was no answer because you know he's what's happened.
Yeah.
I was like,
I actually felt a bit sorry for Clara.
yeah, so did I.
Like even though I don't like her, I just thought, I would.
Yeah,
not.
I'm like, whoa.
That would be the worst feeling.
That's literally
Yeah.
the
And
everyone's worst fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
And it just came true for her, and it's like it's not.
It
as,
just
as you
happens.
as you said to me while we were watching it, it wasn't.
It wasn't a big thing. It was just so ordinary.
Yeah, it was not a sci-fi
Clara
death. It
even
wasn't
says
aliens.
it wasn't big, it was
Clara even says it was just so freaking normal.
It was every day.
Yeah.
It was.
exactly.
It was hit by a car, and not. It was not.
And that was it.
Although
it was not
some
some
people,
alien zapped him or
some
Cybermen got him or
some
something.
people
like that.
have said that. Oh, why didn't that come up in the phone call? Like, surely you'd hear like, boom,
You never know what would have happened. To be fair, it could have flown from his hand and landed on the grass in the park because it was about 6 meters away.
probably. Yeah.
But
yeah, that's a
it
really interesting way to
got
begin
to me,
an episode.
and as you know how I've said before, I like the little references, and when the lone Cyberman standing over by the edge of the graveyard saluted, I thought it just touched me inside.
Yeah.
Like
I got so
like,
upset
right there
with that.
in
All
the
right,
heart.
questions going around. Spike,
Yes.
there has been a lot of debate on the internet as to Cyber Brigadier. Did you see that as personally offensive to both the memory of the Brigadier and
Nicholas Courtney.
Nicholas Courtney? Yeah.
Yes, I did.
You did?
I thought it was kind of silly.
Silly?
Because I kind of like that. What was that Matt Smith? How he tries to
Where he
tries-
calls the Brigadier.
Yeah,
I was
but-
waiting for the song.
See, I like that. That was. a
Some
bit
say
subtle.
that's
That was-
disrespectful. A lot of people do actually say that, and you'd be surprised.
That was still hard. That was still touching as well.
Yeah, I was
Because
like,
touching,
"Aw."
but
Because she said, he always had a brandy ready. They always made sure we had a brandy in case you came round, and that's exactly what the Brigadier would have done.
Yeah.
He would have had a brandy for the doctor waiting there.
But
Also-
the Brigadier as a sideman, that just seems a bit
But
difficult to grasp.
see, it was going to go one of two ways. You know it happens. Like, even if they didn't show it, you know somewhere out there this Brigadier would be a Cyberman.
Yeah.
So they could have either, just left it, and people... See, here's the thing. You've really got to think from another scenario. If they didn't show that, would people be coming out and saying, oh, they should have had the Cyber Brigadier, or something like that? So you've got to kind of understand it from that side of the spectrum. It's, once again, the whole horror movie remake. It was basically carbon copy, and then it changed too much. It's kind of like the two sides of the same coin. I was not offended. I thought that was really heartwarming. I mean, he saved his daughter. I don't like Kate Stewart as a character.
No.
But yeah. So yeah, that's fine. But to have that nice touching moment at the end there, I thought it was good, and it kind of paid that little bit of tribute to him. He kind of got to say that final goodbye, and he wasn't strictly a Cyberman. It was still the Brigadier. He was in cyber form, but it wasn't.
Still the Brigadier.
He wasn't converted. He wasn't a Cyberman.
He wasn't
He
walking
was
around
the
saying
Brigadier.
delete. It was the
Yeah.
Brigadier.
Yeah, And kind of upset he didn't have a cyber mustache. But
Just a
yeah,
couple
I
of,
thought
just,
it was...
just a couple of black fridge magnets.
Yeah.
Personally, like, me being, like, not someone who is a massive classic fan,
Yeah.
someone who can't really can't be stuffed going into classic series.
Which we will at some point.
Which that sounds awful, but it's true. I really can't be stuffed.
I
going
can't
back.
blame you. There's a lot.
And yeah, basically, like, there's no way I would have been offended by the idea of Cyber Brigadier, but I could see how that could be offensive to some people.
Yeah,
how that would upset people.
But
I agree
also,
with that.
I
I wasn't
also,
offended by it myself, but
Yeah.
it is
I
understandable. how
also
it
do
would be.
want to
Yeah.
try and see it from the. I just wish I could have seen it from the other side, where I mean, let's face it. It could be in some people's minds because it would happen. It would obviously happen because the dead rise, the dead become Cybermen. So of course that encompasses the Brigadier.
That encompasses the Brigadier and Amy and Rory.
And
In fact, I believe during filming of this, Amy and Rory's tombstone was seen on set. So, whether that was something that was cut out or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whether it was... I believe I even saw pictures, so I believe it was an actual thing.
Some of the older characters from the previous series.
Oh, God! Does that mean Adric? Oh, God!
Adric didn't die on Earth.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he
He
did.
crashed into the Earth.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
But they wouldn't have found enough body parts to put him in a grave.
Doesn't matter.
With
It's only
Adric's death, he was on the ship that plunged into Earth and
Oh, God.
killed the dinosaurs.
Okay, I really hope Adric's
He was killed
mind...
by the Cybermen. Let's turn him into one.
I really hope Adric was in the afterlife because he crashed into the Earth. He would have been in so much pain in the afterlife. Which also brings up something with the caretaker. That police officer who's killed by the Scovox Blitzer,
Yes, you explained this.
who's old Chard.
Yeah,
and Papa
blown
Ken brought
apart.
this up. I didn't even realise. Surely he would be in an insane amount of pain in the afterlife. But anyway, regardless.
Forgot where I was. As I was, like I said,
Fuck up.
funny. As I was saying, but like no, I'm talking the physically older characters,
Yeah.
like Wilf, and just like I'm talking theoretics.
Yeah,
but
please do not.
You know,
I want to continue to think Wolf is still there kicking ass.
he is, but I'm talking theoretics. Say if he was, if he had died by that time, he would have been
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, there are just so many other characters aside.
He would have been the world's nicest Cyberman.
Alright, yeah, he would have. Alright.
Please delete.
So, let's go back all over these episodes in their respective order, get a little bit more in depth if we can, and what better place to start off with, or what only place, but deep breath. Alright, apart from the issues we mentioned before, is there anything else that strikes out in your mind as a real negative against the episode?
Probably the slow first
Yeah,
half,
just a slow pace. Yeah, slow first
Yeah.
half. All right, we're in agreement there. The sort of pacing issues are the problem with this one. Any like standout moments?
I don't see it as a standout moment, but I did like the little thing when he saw his face. He just thought, I've seen this before.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
You probably
personally,
don't
I
know
don't
where you
see
got
that
that
thing
face.
as needing
Yeah.
to be explained because Colin Baker famously shot Peter Davison in Arc of Infinity.
Yeah.
And then he's the next incarnation and no explanation is given. We've had this numerous times in Doctor Who, but for some reason...
I'm interested in an explanation.
Yeah.
If it's done well.
Now,
if it's not done well,
I
have
have a theory. It's slightly a wonky theory because it's only just a small one.
Yeah.
But when a Time Lord regenerates, a consideration has gone into people he's met, and the look and face and the body type of that character has gone into consideration for his next regeneration.
Yes, but that also means, I mean, we've had two previous incarnations state, I want to be ginger. Yeah. So if they can have a control over a certain amount of control over their face and all of that,
I'm not saying that he has control.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. If they explain it off as he's actually like chosen that face, then if he wants to be ginger, why hasn't he been ginger?
In my mind, it's just.
What I'm saying is that I'm seeing it as random.
Yeah.
But the people he meets, their
Sure.
face and their look goes into consideration of the randomizer.
In my mind, then it is a randomizer of every face they've ever seen.
But then we also
in that incarnation.
but then we also have to take into account. RTD was planning to explain why Caecilius and John Frobisher from Children of Earth looked alike. When Moffat cast Capaldi, he called RTD and said, "Can that still work?" And RTD said yes. So obviously it's going to have to be something that can encompass all of them. So that's going to be interesting.
There has been talk that there might be something about that in Series 9.
Yeah. Personally, I don't think it needs to be explained at all.
It obviously does.
I think it's just let sleeping dogs lie and let people have their own theories.
Yeah, alright. So, and it's probably just going to be a throwaway line anyway. Like most things were. I think one thing that was really nice is the scene with the tramp in the alleyway. That is Elizabeth Sladen's husband. Or, sadly, ex-husband.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really, widower. That was really nice to do that. That could have been literally anyone, any actor, but it was nice that it was him.
Yeah.
And just a little bit of... And hopefully, I'm hoping Capaldi has that tiny little bit more pull on the show where he can make things happen. Because I'm guessing you guys haven't seen this, and I've discussed this on the show before with Tim, and I'm going to just say it really quickly because I have explained it like twice before. In a Q&A for Deep Breath at the premiere, Capaldi was asked what monster does he want to come back, and he said the classic Mondasian Cybermen, like the 10th planet Mondasian Cybermen. Moffat turned around and said, you mean the ones who are wearing backwards balaclavas? And oh my god, Capaldi, you could see he wanted to strangle Moffat.
Yeah.
He had this look on his face, and the answer he gave, oh my god. Anyone, just go watch it. It's on the Series 8 Blu-ray, and I presume DVD. Or just go and look it up on YouTube, because it's fan-fucking-tastic just to see it. But yeah, I'm just going to say that much. So, anything else that stands out for you guys in this story worth mentioning?
I didn't like... I don't know about the rest of you, but I didn't like that Matt Smith cameo.
No. Again, that just comes down to why... Because they're trying and get the crowd on the audience on the side of Capaldi by having this guy come back and say, but it does the opposite, because what's one of the things that comes out of his mouth is, oh, please tell me I didn't get old, anything but old. And that's just literally what the fucking audience was saying, or the ones who are unintelligent and can't comprehend that the doctor's now got wrinkles on his face and grey in his hair.
Matt Smith is the third Doctor.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just kind of insulting, not only to Peter Capaldi, that, he can't play it because he's old, but also to the older doctors, who, they weren't young, so what? I mean, half of them are fucking better than anything in the new series.
Will
Hartnell was 10... Hartnell was the same age as...
Same age as Capaldi by a few months older.
Yeah. But they were both 55 years old.
Yeah. When announced as cast,
Pertwee was 51.
I mean, and back in those days, it's not like
one of the best.
And back in those days, being in Doctor Who did not launch your career.
No.
In some cases, that was the last thing they did. And you're always going to be known for it. As much as Eccleston wants to run from the role and try and deny, or not deny he was ever in it, but try and forget it and put it behind him.
The way he was told,
it's never going to stop.
The way he wanted to.
It's never going to stop.
No.
I mean, he's always going to be known for that role. You can do bigger and better things, yes, but you've been in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
You are part of that legacy now. That is why...
You can't deny it.
No,
it's too big now to deny it anyway.
And that is why I was kind of upset when, for whatever reason, there are just as many theories running around as to why he left the show. There's just as many as why he didn't come back for the 50th.
Yeah.
The one I've heard, and is more than likely true, is that he wanted to come back, but he wanted Joe Ahern, I believe that's how you pronounce it, to direct the 50th. Now, he directed Dalek and about, I think, 5 episodes from Eccleston's run, including my favourite of that season, Bad Wolf and Parting of the Ways. Let him do it, because those stories are visually striking and beautiful. But Moffat, apparently Eccleston said, just consider that. Moffat pretty much said no straight away, and Eccleston walked. I'm not sure if that's 100% what happened, but to me it could make sense.
The main reason I've heard of Eccleston left the show in the first place, it was Russell T Davies, and I can't remember the other.
I don't think RTD had anything to do with it. I think it was just the upper
I
heads
think it might have been
BBC.
The higher
In the
ups.
BBC,
I
and the way
distinctly
he was-
remember him and two.
The way
was having
he
a
was on,
disagreement with.
the way they treated people on set apparently is the way, the reason why he left. Which, that's kind of upsetting because I love the Ninth Doctor.
Yeah.
And
shame we didn't see more of it.
yeah, I mean, I hope one day we do get him back in Doctor Who for
I hope
the
to get.
60th.
I hope to get Paul McGann back one day.
Yes.
Oh.
And that is one thing we have literally been stating. So many times.
Hashtag thirst for Paul.
Make it a thing. And with now something that Marvel's done with Netflix, Daredevil, which is so successful. I love that Netflix series. Could we see possibly Netflix series for Paul McGann? Because that would be so beautiful
be
to
awesome.
see. That way you could still do your shows here.
The BBC, for some reason, lately has been shafting people. Like, not just Doctor Who, like a lot of people in different shows. Top Gear, obviously.
Yeah.
But that Netflix, Amazon's picked them up.
Yeah.
And, like, people love Top Gear, they love it as... The people who love Top Gear as much as Doctor Who fans love Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of backfired on Amazon because apparently that's the new Top Gear is the most expensive show they've ever worked on.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: what's the current arrangement with the audio dramas? Because
Audios. In regards to what?
well, you mentioned having more Christopher Eccleston. I think when like Big Finish try and pick him
What
up.
Eccleston do audios? That's what I'm thinking.
Well, I've heard him state that he would not do Doctor Who again.
Yeah. There's always this
I
misconception.
believe that he
there's
might be talking
always
about the
this,
show itself.
there's always this
audio dramas.
misconception that he hates the show, which some debate no. But I have seen this video where he assisted a fan in proposing to his girlfriend, who was she was a massive Whovian, and he actually helped with that. So you've got to try and think, what's his stance on the show? Because everyone knows he's not a fan of the show to begin with. I mean, he only watched it because he was fascinated with it to a degree, and he would only really watch Regeneration
He's not like
episodes or-
Tennant who
No,
just
no,
wanted
no.
to be in the show
Which,
from the very beginning.
I think I'm just going to let my own personal view spill out here. I think you actually have to, pretty much be a fan of the show to step into the role.
Like Tennant.
Yeah.
Work for Capaldi, work for
and that's
Tom
the
Baker,
thing.
work
That's
for
why I hate the War Doctor. Because John Hurt's never going to come back for that.
No. And yet
Ever.
clearly it was Ninth Doctor.
Like, seriously, there are two things that the budget today of the Doctor went into. 3D and John fucking Hurt.
Yeah.
Which, straight up, that's wrong. You hired this big-ass actor.
No disrespect
I can
to
pretty
John
much...
Hurt.
No. But...
He is a legendary. He's a legend of an
You
actor.
guys still doing this?
Oh, yes.
It's been like 2 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Shoo, you're not helping.
We can go longer.
Yeah. Although we are on a time frame because we got to have the episode, but
What are we discussing?
we're discussing Doctor Who.
We're still discussing.
Well, some Doctor Who and just...
So not 2012 Ninja Turtles.
No,
Get
we're not
out,
discussing
get out
that.
now. 2003 TMNT.
Not 87 TMNT.
Still better than 2012.
Most things are.
I will actually give you that, yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
I don't know what was better, the Venus era or the
So
2012
I can pretty
era.
much guarantee you guys, John Hurt will never reprise that role.
No. Got like as I said a second ago. No disrespect to John Hurt.
Yeah,
He's a great actor
He is
and he's a
great.
legend.
He is a
Yeah,
but
he works.
He will not do that again.
No.
They
I
only
can
brought
pretty
him
much
in because
guarantee you that.
it's like to fill a spot that they needed.
Yeah,
They needed someone
exactly.
from. They're like, oh, let's get someone who's big.
Yeah.
Like who's a Yeah,
Yeah.
I demand. Like, oh, Ian McKellen.
Yeah. Anyway, are we all done discussing Deep Breath?
Yeah,
Yes.
that
We
wasn't
should
even about deep.
We should wrap on and just
Yeah.
kind of
None of that was it.
rapid fire.
Do we have,
So into Dalek.
Hold on. What you saying?
do we have a limit?
Basic. Well, no limit on here, but it's just when the episode airs, which is we've got about another hour.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, we can
Also-
round that up, I reckon.
Oh, probably, but with our topic of the week, and we do like to ramble.
Yeah.
But
I don't think we can do the topic of the week this week, though.
Oh, I am,
That's
don't
the
worry.
He's
problem.
doing it.
Okay.
rapid fire.
Okay.
All right, so
Into Dalek.
into the Dalek. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Also, fuck Journey Blue. I hate that character. All right, so here she is acting
I hate
all
them all.
sad because the 12th Doctor didn't save her brother. Yet, literally a few hours later, she makes a joke about her brother's dying.
Yeah.
It's like, I had my brother, but he burned to death horribly a few hours ago, so he's really letting me down. I'm like, and you're probably letting him down, you stupid bitch. Yeah,
It's
And
you get
also,
a lot of characters
she
like that.
spends the whole time attacking the Doctor, always constantly yelling at him, yet she wants to go with him at the end of the episode?
Yeah.
I turn around and say, you know what, take that Nerf gun of yours and shove it right up your fucking ass, bitch!
No, and like, no, honestly, I don't even think those look like Nerf guns. They look like a kid made them out of taping those clipped together pens together.
Yeah!
And
I did that
because I
all the
remember
time.
one night I was like, oh, someone's made the Joker's MP40 from the Dark Knight. I'm like, oh, cool. I want to see if I can make it. And it's just someone's just put pens together.
Wow.
And
Alright.
there's one other show that just like got a Nerf gun and turned it into something else.
So there we go.
Dino
Dalek,
Charge.
anyone else want to mention anything quickly?
It was shit.
It was shit. Alright, now we get to go to Robot of Sherwood.
It was amazing.
Here's my main problem with it.
Yeah.
The very end.
Yes.
The golden arrow hitting the
Penis.
side of the... Thank you. Hitting the
Penis.
side of the ship was enough gold content to power the ship.
Well, no, to be fair, it was that much of the arrow going in. Because the rest of it was sticking out.
But it was still in the side
Yeah, no,
of
but
the
it
ship. It
didn't-
didn't hit an engine. It didn't go into... I mean, why don't the fucking
I think
guys
that's where
just
the
make...
gold reservoir was.
But still, like, that golden arrow, and just that much of it, like you said, was at least 17% of the gold needed.
Yeah.
Why would the guys make a golden arrow? Waste that much time when what they need is gold.
Well,
Couldn't they just use false gold or something?
They were primitive-looking robots, so perhaps
They were very fucking primitive.
Yeah. So
Fucking idiots. Wow, what we need is gold. What should we have for this competition? Oh, I don't know. Golden fucking arrow. But
So,
shouldn't we,
I think-
no, it'll be fine.
maybe it wasn't said in the episode. Maybe it was just a major miscalculation.
Maybe.
So yeah, not what can I say? Except okay, granted, Doctor Who can't function without any sci-fi, but it still feels crowbarred in.
Yeah, it does. And there's obviously the scene that was removed with the sheriff getting beheaded.
Yeah.
That was down to the ISIS beheadings that were happening at the time.
Yeah.
Alright, Spike, your opinion on this. Was it the safe bet to remove the beheading scene? Keeping in mind, one of the robot knights does get beheaded in the story. And there are multiple lines of dialogue referencing beheading.
Oh.
They decided to take out the scene in which it is revealed that the sheriff is a robot himself. The only other clue you will get to that in the actual episode is when he says a new age,
Never right.
part man, part machine.
Never right.
Even then, that's not in reference to himself.
Yeah.
So, do you think it was the right decision to remove that scene?
Well, yes, because it was probably too closely related to the ISIS beheadings, and people might have been upset and
Maybe. Again, that does fall into possibly, real life affecting art and stuff like that. So, yeah. And then, what's about if this episode had aired before any of the ISIS beheading stuff, what's about people all over the place would be, oh, this predicted the ISIS beheadings, or it gave them the idea!
Yeah.
Because, so, Phoenix Fire, what do you think of this?
not really sure what to think. It was.
Yeah, no.
I'm sort of torn.
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree. I agree that it would have. I don't think it would have been the right move to keep it in because of the events of the time.
Yep.
But if they kept it in, as you said, they would have. People would have started tearing into the show.
Probably.
They gave them the idea, or the BBC shouldn't be over there, or yeah.
All right, Tim. What do you think of this?
I think it was definitely a good move to remove that scene.
All right.
Because you said that one of the knights keeping in mind one of the knights was beheaded in the episode.
Yeah.
But I think that was like that was big.
The knight was not beheaded as a means of decapitation.
The
normally,
knight,
though.
Yeah.
It was
But-
not got
But the
flames.
knight wasn't presented as a human character.
Yes.
Yeah.
The sheriff is presented as a human character, so that's a
But
human
also here's
character getting decapitated.
Here's this.
That's
and,
the thing.
Okay. That is crucial to the story. That's not just a little thing that's been taken out. Okay, so case in point was when the trailer for the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man film came out, it featured the two towers.
Mhm.
The twin
Yeah,
towers.
they had to. Yeah.
And that trailer obviously had to be removed because of
It was 2001.
9/11. So that's relatively small thing. That's just the trailer. So that can be easily thing. This is a major part of the episode that needs to be covered. And like I said, you have very strong references, and it's obvious you're supposed to laugh at them. With the doctor saying, "Oh, cut his head off." I'd love to see that, his head rolling around on the floor laughing, which that's lines of dialogue referencing beheading, which is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
And that is strict, decapitation. Cut his head off. And it's the doctor saying it.
Yeah.
It's not like it's another evil character. It's not like it's an evil character saying, "I'm going to cut your head off, you prick," or something like that. It's the doctor, our main protagonist, saying, "Cut this guy's head off."
But that's just referencing the fact.
Yeah,
But actually presenting it as a means of execution is the thing.
Yes. But then it's immediately shown afterwards, it's not a human, it's a robot, he's a droid, and it is crucial to the story. It is a crucial element of the story, because otherwise you don't know what he is. You don't know. I mean, that is a crucial... And I have personally watched that scene. I'm like, that's not distressing. Because it is a character getting beheaded. So you obviously know right from the get-go that when he's beheaded, you know he's getting right back up. You know he's going to be destroyed. Because how many times are people being decapitated in Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Not many, I'm guaranteeing, if at all.
But
So-
still,
but at the
showing
same
an
time-
actual beheading on screen as a means of execution
At the
is
same
the
time,
thing.
you have Game of Thrones beheading people left and right.
Yes, but also, why was it not included on the DVD? The ISIS beheadings, I mean,
They're
pretty
not
much
as frequent as
slowed
they.
down. No, I mean, it's getting political, and we're not going to talk about it here, or whatever the correct term to talk about it is. But why was it not included on the DVD as not a deleted scene, like just installed back into the episode?
Yeah.
But then I'm also looking at it as people complained about the hair pulling scenes in Deep Breath. Because there is a condition where that triggers, they get a trigger that start pulling their own hair out, and that triggered it for them. So a lot of people did complain. I think it is a case of people being a bit too uppity. It's like, yeah, okay, this scene was put in. I do think the hair pulling scene was a bit, what? Okay, measuring the air disturbance in the room, it's kind of like, what? Okay, that's weird. But, I mean, yeah, it might have triggered this for you, and yes, that's unfortunate. But it's just a case of something in a television show. And that is one thing, like, yeah, it might have been a little too soon to show it so soon after, and there were a lot of complaints about this series, ranging from the dark water content, to the hair pulling, to a lot of things. And yet that might have thrown some fuel on the fire so soon into the season. But that also does not give it an excuse as why wasn't it thrown back in for DVD release.
Yeah.
Because now there's no excuse. Like, you know, everyone, or pretty much everyone knows about it now. It's infamous that scene was removed. They came out and announced it that due to the ISIS beheadings, we are removing this scene. So, it's mostly common knowledge, but, you know, why it wasn't thrown back into the... Because, like I said, I think that decapitating the villain, one, you know he's getting back up because it's a decapitation in Doctor Who. It doesn't happen...
It's not a Game of Thrones decapitation.
Yeah, so you know he's pretty much going to get back up. Plus, I'm pretty sure most people had suspicions he was a robot anyway.
Yeah.
So he gets back up and continues along. And
You
it's
could,
not
you
like...
could barely pick up on it because a man of his age, like you could tell he was more advanced in years than Robin. A man of his age, you like fighting as he did against Robin.
Yeah.
I found that kind of disturbing.
Yeah.
Because if I wasn't thinking he's robot, I'd be thinking he's an incredible sword fighter for his age.
And I haven't seen it in a while, but to my knowledge, the actual decapitation is not shown on screen. I believe what it is one of the banners, you know the one Robin slides down, one of those is cut and it falls onto the sheriff. And then I think that's when it happens, and all you see is like the shroud drop,
and Robin
or something like that. But then the body stands back up in the background. And I think you hear the sheriff's voice or something like that. So it's not like it's overly graphic, like you actually see his head getting knocked off his shoulders.
Yeah.
And I think to hear your main protagonist say so clearly, "Cut this guy's head off," it'd be fucking funny.
Yeah.
That, to me, is a lot worse, because, one, it's a line of dialogue made for humour, and I think could be cut out, you know...
I feel like we're getting way too into this.
Yeah, no, we are. I just have to say
Bring it back around.
Bring it back around. I'm just saying...
We always do this. We always go right into the political stuff.
If we hadn't, this probably wouldn't be too...
We probably wouldn't be up to 2 hours.
Let me know what you guys think.
They're not this far into the video to let you know.
Shut up, Tim. But yeah, that's what I have to say about it. Little baffling as to why it wasn't thrown back in the DVD. That's all I'm saying. Alright, so anything else on this episode, guys?
Nope. I think we've covered pretty much
covered it all.
Yeah.
Alrighty. What did we think of Ben Miller as the sheriff? Very masterish.
Not Alan. Very master. Budget Anthony Ailey, I think is what you called it.
Yeah, exactly.
Tim
I'm glad
said,
he wasn't the master, because it would be kind of weird, wouldn't it?
as Tim said,
Here's this new
while we were
generation
watching
master. He looks like...
Alan Rickman would have been incredible in that episode as the sheriff. It would have been good though.
Yeah, but they couldn't afford Alan.
Yeah, no, they couldn't afford Alan Rickman because he's Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
They would have blown their whole budget for the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
alrighty.
And probably half
so
of it.
feel good on this episode.
Yeah.
Moving on to listen. Alright, so yeah. I love the setup for this story. It's a great setup.
The build-up was incredible.
Alright. Now, can I just say where it goes wrong? That thing under the blanket is not a kid. I don't care what people say. It's not a fucking child. You can see it out of focus, granted, but it's grey. It's like a greyish fucking creature thing. It's not a human child. Someone also pointed out, and forgive me for forgetting who you are, but you're probably not even watching. Someone did mention that's not really how child's play pranks.
No.
Children usually, go, ha gotcha, and kind of like that. Yet there's no actual indication here. Also, there is something at the end of the universe.
Even,
I don't care.
even if it's in, even though it's in the 90s, still that's not how it's done.
I hate to be a spoil spot, but I'm really tired. I think
Yeah, no worries, man. Thank you for sticking around this long.
You're welcome.
Alright, guys, that's Spike
sorry.
out. Thank you for joining us, though,
Sorry.
Spike. Thank you very much for joining us. Safe trip home, man.
Yeah.
Get yourself some sleep.
See you later, bro.
So yeah, hopefully this can go down a little bit quicker now.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, yeah, I mean, I understand, the villain is supposed to be fear. Well, no villain, but it's just literally supposed to be fear that plays a part.
Once
in
you
that.
get rid of everything that you fear, the only thing to fear is fear itself.
Yeah. And I hate the ending. because it's Clara involving herself in the Doctor's time stream yet again.
Yeah.
And it fucking frustrates me when they do that. Like,
Yeah.
can we just have a companion who doesn't have to get all wibbly wobbly up in the time in the Doctor's time stream?
Yeah.
She doesn't have to be special or have a superpower. Can she just
Not to mention there was that one
people?
shot where she was in the library, but she was Oswin
Yeah.
and not Clara.
Yeah. Okay, so that's my problem with the story. I don't necessarily mind that it's fear, necessarily, but it's just... I don't know. I mean, the way it's presented, it just kind of makes it feel meh.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all good.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yep.
Also, the Doctor's jumper is stupid. Moving on to Time Heist. There's a few little issues I have with it, even though I've given it 10 out of 10. But overall, I don't have... I mean, they're just little nitpicks that I can't even think of off the top of my head right now. But I love Sai and Sabra.
Yeah.
Sai and Sabra are great. I want them to return. Fuck it, make them companions. Make them the new companions.
Oh my god, that would be
Please.
amazing.
Fantastic. The Teller.
I mean, again, it's going against our thing of wanting normal
The
people.
practical
to
effects.
the
on the
practical
Teller.
effects on the Teller
Oh
are
my
fantastic.
god, yes.
Wow, okay.
Let's not forget your favourite scene.
Yeah, Papa Ken did mention that the head sinking is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, it's not affecting the skull. I mean,
Yeah, it's just affecting
Yeah.
the brain and the skull
but
is still
maybe the
there.
skull, the pressure gets sunken in. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think. But I
Density,
thought that was gruesome. I'm like, holy shit,
Yeah.
did they just show that?
Yeah.
That's really gruesome.
It's fucking Doctor Who, so yeah, it is gruesome for
And it's not
Doctor
like
Who.
bloody and gore and all that. It's literally
No,
just
it's
like
just
some guy's head, and it's like disturbing.
Yeah.
Well, plus we
Gross.
get a lot of fleet by images of a lot of characters from the mythos. The Gunslinger, Captain John
Yeah.
from
Captain John.
Torchwood. I
He was
think
a
I think
good
a
one.
comic.
I swear I
character's
saw
in there.
him, man.
There's a comic character in there. I think
Yeah.
that's who you saw.
Yeah. He looks like him, man.
And a Slivine for some reason.
Yeah. It was
but
probably
yeah.
it was probably one of the Slovene.
Alright, so yeah, that's all good. Moving on.
Yeah.
Alright, to the Caretaker.
Actually,
Not
it was probably Blomfell Fudge.
Probably. But yeah, or a Raxacarico Phalabatorian, not necessarily a Slovene. Not much to say. I think we can move on.
Yeah.
To Kill the Moon, I think we can move on to Mummy on the Orient Express
Yeah. Yeah.
now. Fuck Kill the Moon.
Kill the Moon. It was shit.
Yeah,
Fucking shit.
I mean,
Don't
it's funny.
watch it.
In my
needed to have a
reaction,
cameo of Piccolo going,
in my
Moon!
yes, in my reaction, I said, "Oh wow, that was kind of cool," but I'm really tired, and you can tell with my reaction. I'm like, I wasn't paying attention to it.
Yeah.
It was kind of like one of those things that once I stopped recording, I'm like, "Fuck, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Should I upload this?"
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
like,
Mummy on the Orient Express.
yeah,
Great episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just mention the little things about the timer, but that's about it. It does kind of take me out. It's like, I don't know what's going on there.
The granddaughter of the first woman that died,
Disappeared.
annoying.
Yeah.
I found her quite annoying.
Maisie.
That's a lie.
I didn't
Yeah.
know what was
That's
up
why
with
I'm
her. I thought there was
She
something
was just-
up with her.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's kind of what I was going for. I
Yeah.
thought, I'm like, is she like
I thought
crazy
she was.
or
I
something?
thought she was like psychic or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, but
that would've
the
been
doctor
cool.
actually wasn't lying. She just thought he was lying.
Also, if the thing's targeting like those with stress or something, surely the Doctor would have a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you'd think that would be like one of his first targets. Surely.
Like as
At
soon
least
as he
from what
gets
Doctor
on the
gets that.
freaking, as soon as he gets on the train, it's just like, oh,
You know,
what's that? It's a mummy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm dead.
whatever. Anyway, should we move along?
Yeah.
To Flatline. Yeah, it just kind of meanders about. I mean, it does kind of have that real hot head. Well, not hot head. Well, he's kind of a hot head, but he's also a prick of a character. It's
That old
funny.
guy.
Yeah, the old
Yeah,
guy.
he was a
Funny thing
arsehole.
is, he's in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Is he?
Yeah, he's the broker guy. The one who, he's trying to get, he's the one who obviously employs Quill to get the orb.
Oh.
The guy.
Okay.
The one who, Yondo's like, ooh, that one. Yeah, that's him. And he's in the '89 Batman film. He's like one of the
Okay.
at the very beginning,
Yeah.
when Batman like drops down and beats up those guys.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm Batman, and all of that. But
That
yeah,
was actually pretty good.
thank you. And I wasn't even trying. I'm Batman.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah. Very good
impressions
job.
video coming soon.
Yeah. I'm joking.
I know.
But I thought Riggsy was cool.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but I think he's coming back.
Yes,
this
I
season.
for some reason,
I liked him.
I
so
think I saw him in the trailer.
For some
I'm not
reason,
sure.
I slightly likened him to Mickey. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Mm.
Kind of had that kind of
But,
persona.
yeah.
The fluorescent pudding brain.
Ugh.
The Doctor's Dance. Brilliant. Yeah, real funny kind of
Yeah.
thing. And
But
yeah.
it was set up, and to watch the setup of it, the buffer in the previous episode,
Yeah.
I just looked at it and thought, oh, fear her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
But
people.
as you said, the idea of paintings come to life was
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you got like that mural of
Yeah.
all the people that have
And
gone
their
missing.
backs
That's
are
so
turned.
Didn't they
creepy.
show that in the freaking preview? I'm pretty
I don't know. I think I saw the
I
preview.
saw that, and that's what made me think of fear her.
Mm.
And
But
then
yeah,
I like
The
the fact
fact
that
is,
their
so
backs were
That's
The
one
fact
thing
that
I
their
don't
backs
like
were turned,
ever.
and then
Is
like
when they show stuff in previews that's
Yeah.
like
It
would be
was
a
just-
really oh shit moment.
it was just really creepy when they turned around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was just-
and when
oh.
they come out of the ground
Yeah.
Oh,
and the hand
Oh.
was just like boom.
They-
they looked
you
really,
see
they
it-
looked
you see it
really
in the
terrifying
background,
when
yeah.
they went to 3D.
I mean, really, I'm trying to figure out if it's supposed to be really bad, like CG or not. But I
Yeah,
thought
that-
it was really good.
yeah.
That's what I just kind of think of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving on.
Yeah.
To,
I mean, okay,
Oh.
just one thing quickly.
Yep. No,
I like how like the hand wasn't a big deal. It just
it just
appeared.
like literally pops up.
I was like, oh my god, is that a hand?
But then also, that's kind of like Doctor Doom in Fat Four Stick.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, if you can do this, why don't you do that all the time?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's just kind of something like that.
It's a one-off. I can only do it once.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You understand that if you ever get around to watching that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Told you, I've seen the first 20 minutes. Yeah. That's enough.
it's kind of worth watching, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to fucking In the Forest of the Shire. All right, can I just say,
Fuck
what
children.
the fuck is up with the end? Was she there for like a year?
Yeah, I don't.
Did she die and then the trees bring her back
is that
to
like
life?
explained, or did she go
No,
missing?
it is literally. This is all it. She just like she's missing for however long, like a year. I think is said. It's a year or something.
Yeah.
So, and they're just walking along, and she just literally looks at the bush.
She's in
The
bush.
eyes, and then the bush disappears, and she's just standing there, and she's literally
that's-
like,
She's like, what up?
That's
yeah. And
that's
then the
funnier.
Maeve is all like, "I knew you'd be here." I'm
It's-
like, evidently not, because you would have found her beforehand.
It's
Yeah.
funny because it said in the episode that the trees and bushes and stuff like sprout up overnight. Like,
Yeah.
did she go missing and then come back the night before, and then all of a sudden that bush just sprung
to
up
try and
around
It's
her?
a
okay.
bush. You think
So-
she would have just stepped out of it?
Yeah, so this is what I like to try and think happened. She died, okay? That's what happened. And for some reason, the trees just bring her back to life.
Right.
Right.
That's the only way I can probably accept.
I-
Only because it can give
just-
me a little
just
bit of
be-
darkness.
Just
in this whole
because of
story.
the effects from that show, when all the bushes just disapparated, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, a giant tool of warship has dropped to Earth.
Oh, I was thinking Alec Baldwin. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
Fuck yeah, sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. But
And
that
Magic
episode,
Railroad.
the children were so fucking annoying.
They were.
So much annoying.
We set our piece on that.
Yeah.
Moving on to the finale.
Mm.
Dark Water and Death in Heaven. First question, going to you, Phoenix Fire. Missy, the reveal. Did it get you?
Yes, it got me. I felt like I should have picked up on it,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't.
I
Same
heard-
thing with the Cybermen on the doors.
Now, I do, of course, go to the Omega Files, and Dr. Freedom does get a lot of intel, and he had heard that, so I had heard that. I personally didn't believe it because it sounded so stupid.
Hmm.
Not that, I'm not being the sexist thing there, That's
Yeah, no,
not
but
the case.
it's-
I just thought,
we've never
really?
heard it
No,
before.
okay, that's weird.
You'd think that at least if they
But
were
with
going
it
to have
being-
a male turn into a female, it would be the Doctor.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of treading the water. I don't want to say the Master is less important than the Doctor, but
No, well, she's like one of his greatest enemies. So,
exactly.
well, she.
So, I mean,
I say they now.
Yeah.
So.
Shlee.
yeah. I technically call her she now.
Yeah, well,
When referring
talking-
to the collective masters, I say they.
Yeah.
But when referring to Missy,
Well, I
I
mean,
say
as
she.
evident by the fact she likes to be called Time Lady, she's a she now.
Yeah.
But
She's
if
a
I'm
Time
talking about
Lady.
the past ones, I say he.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, originally I said if they do that, I don't think I'll like it. And then when they actually said it, I'm like,
I have been.
what? No fucking way!
I have been actually thinking into that. And on how, well, not on how he as John Sim managed to get to Michelle Gomez,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking, because you know how like he teamed up with the Rani from time to time.
Yeah.
Maybe she
That
said
one time.
Okay, and then that one time,
Yeah.
but it was an interesting one. But
Probably.
yeah, I'm thinking maybe somehow she's had sort of an influence on him.
Well,
because
that's the thing.
she was a very advanced scientist for
Yeah, she was.
even for a Gallifreyan.
alright. Well, obviously you're not.
I just want to say,
Go ahead.
I called it first day.
First day.
I did.
When
right
she's in
after
deep breath.
Right after deep breath.
I thought she was River.
I did too.
Like
That's
right
my
after
theory.
deep breath, when she introduced herself as Missy, I was like, it's short for mistress and she's the master.
Yeah, that's.
I
see,
literally said
That's
that.
why I said it was stupid, because I'm like, that is
It's
such
too
like an
obvious.
obvious thing. But obviously, it was obvious.
Obviously, it
And-
was obvious,
Yeah.
and even I figured it out on the first fucking day.
No, yeah.
And I'm so proud of myself for
I
that.
would've
Shut up,
figured-
don't take that away from me.
Literally, I think everyone knew that, but I
Yeah.
just don't think anyone
No-
seriously
nobody wanted
considered
to-
it
I
to be an
seriously
option.
considered it.
Well, I was thinking, no,
What-
seriously,
what
that
I-
can't be a connection.
What I
whatever.
did, well, I first looked around and thought Gallifreyan.
Yeah.
I thought Time Mistress or Gallifreyan or
Well,
somehow.
I was thinking.
I either thought
River.
Gallifreyan or at least someone who can regenerate and River.
The one thing, the one
but
reason
Missy,
I thought it
not,
was
not
River.
thinking Mistress, but Missy because it's kind of a weird name. So River would do something like that. River
The
would
one
take a name
reason
like
I
that.
thought it was River was because it looked like the garden
It did.
that she was left in. So potentially, and maybe something happened to her. She acquired some form of regeneration or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. But and the next possible thing was, oh, she's a completely new character.
The reason I didn't think it was short for Mistress is because my girlfriend's brother is called Missy, but her name is short for Melissa. So it threw me off.
Right.
And also, Melissa, Melanie.
We've established she's
Yeah.
the master.
Yeah, I'm just saying one thing.
If
Never
I-
mind.
Imagine if I'd said that like after deep breath.
Lol. So
I would have slapped you.
obviously you're not aware with the not technically in-universe explanation for a Time Lord
This
switching
is really
genders.
sad.
Alright. So I believe it's in a form of comic or audio or something. A Time Lord can change genders when they take their own life.
Oh.
What if the Master did that?
John Sim's master at the very end was incredibly warped in the mind.
Yes. But then I've also read another one that he took over someone's body, and that would have
Such
been a
as
female.
same way Anthony Ainley
Yeah, and
master came about.
also maybe he took the form of a female because the Time Lords wouldn't have expected him to do that. You know, I'm going to disguise myself as a female. That way they probably won't know.
There also might be the explanation that Missy is an incarnation before Derek Jacobi.
I
mean, that seems unlikely, but it's still a possibility. Like it's unlikely, but it's a possibility.
It could be a Dr. Rivers sort of thing where
Okay, now
You know we love-
I am trying to think of something that will prove you wrong.
Like, we know Stephen Moffat loves to take plot points
Okay.
from fucking seasons ago.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something that will prove you wrong. I'll fucking find it. I swear to God.
It's just a really quick thought. That's not
Yeah.
me trying
Yeah.
to say, yeah, that's what it is. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Alright, well, if you guys know something that will prove him wrong, and if you're still watching, let me know, because I'm sure I'll think of something.
Comment down there.
What's the bet? Someone in Magician's Apprentice is going to prove you fucking wrong. Shit. No, I don't think that's the case. Or maybe it is, I don't know, because of course we do get the mention at the very end of, the one mention that doesn't really line up very well is Missy saying, "I'm the Time Lord you left for dead." Which that doesn't really line up with what happened in the End of Time.
Yeah.
So, you never know.
If the End of Time hadn't happened, it could have been previous one. Because Pyre. Because if only it would have worked if End of Time hadn't happened it hadn't had the Master in it, but it had to because that's how it was written. But
maybe
just speak with me theoretically for a second. It's fucking stupid, but it's just I've just thought of it. I'm the Time Lord you left for dead. You could leave someone for dead in a funeral pyre.
Yes. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah.
So yeah, shall we move on to Last Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, actually first, how did you feel Danny's story wrapped up?
I was...
It actually...
I thought that was a nice epic moment.
It made me feel a little something for Danny, even though I fucking hate him.
Yeah.
He was always established
He seemed less sad
the guy
after he died.
He was always established as the guy who was trying to get past his friggin' soldier stuff.
Yeah.
trying to, be something other than the guy who used to be in the army.
Yeah.
And then, at the end, he just sort of naturally falls into the role of the commander of the Cybermen.
Yeah.
And, that kind of goes against his whole trying to escape the military thing. But still, it was a really nice moment.
It's he's like, okay, it's part of my past, it's part of me.
Yeah.
I accept this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use it to do this.
I'm gonna use my experience, and I'm gonna use it to my advantage and save the fucking human race.
Yeah. This will tie into Last Christmas. What did you think, what kind of role was Danny in that? Was that, the actual Danny going into Clara's mind? The spiritual side of Danny? Or was that just Clara's, imagination imagining things? Does she like to think that Danny just saved her and not the world? The world got lucky? Or do you think that was the actual Danny?
I wouldn't put it past Clara to do that.
Yeah.
Especially the way she's written in this series.
Either way, it makes Clara look self-obsessed, which kind of she is.
Yeah.
And then it is tying into, if it was actually Danny, it is tying into the over-sentimentality Moffat has.
Yeah.
That is a big problem as well in one of my favourite episodes, Naming the Doctor, where, for no reason at all, the Doctor can see River. Despite the fact she's dead, and only in Clara's mind.
Yeah.
The others can't fucking see her, but the Doctor can, and why?
I like that they at least mention the fact that no one else can see her.
Yeah, but
because she's his fucking wife.
Because he loves her. I've got relatives I wish I could see, and I love them, but that doesn't mean they're right here in front of me, does it? So, that's just over-sentimental bullshit.
For all you know, they could be, but you can't see them.
They're like, wee!
It's a terrifying thought.
Yeah.
Just loved ones. Get your life on track!
Anyway.
But yeah. I don't even know which relative I was being then. One I didn't know.
Distant one.
Anyway.
Going into Last Christmas.
Going into Last Christmas. What do you think? Was that the real Danny? Or
I honestly have no idea.
Yeah.
And
Wait, what are you talking about?
When Clara's in her dream state, when she's got the dream crab on her face, and Danny's there.
Yeah.
She's with Danny. There's a point in the conversation when the Doctor says Danny died saving the world, and then Danny says, no, I died saving Clara, the rest of you got lucky. So...
Yeah, that was not the real Danny.
No.
Danny wouldn't say that.
No.
That goes completely
that's
against
gotta be
Danny.
That's-
Clara.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just Clara.
Yeah.
That's just
That's 'cause
that's the
she's-
dream
so-
crab.
so-
That's the dream crab manipulating Clara.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it
exactly.
was Clara. That
Yeah,
was the
well,
dream.
actually, reason
I'd say it's
is-
the Dream
is
Crab's amplifying
okay,
Clara's.
amplifying
The
Clara's
reason-
beliefs.
Clara's-
The reason is
like
it's played off to be
subconscious.
some sort of deep emotional thing, kind of like the end of New Earth, when it's like, it's trying to be emotional, but really it's just Cassandra calling herself beautiful, and it's
And she's
not.
a trampoline.
But I like to think that it's actually Chip saying not, and it's not actually Cassandra.
Yeah.
So that's what I like to think, and yeah, it's played off as trying to be, but when you think about it, it's literally just Clara saying what she wants to hear.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make Clara come out looking very good.
No.
Just makes her look self-obsessed.
Mm.
So I don't think it's safe to discuss this episode because it is kind of a clusterfuck and a mindfuck. So it's not really made good for conversation.
Let's just say
Nick
Frost was
as a
great.
companion.
You want who?
Shona.
Mm.
Because you could tell they were trying to make her the next companion.
Yeah.
Like, they were setting that up hard. But whatever. Plus, something I know you two will like. When Santa's like, I've got 3 words, Shona. Don't make me use them. What 3 words? My Little Pony.
That was funny.
But it's funny, once I heard that, all I got in my memory was just like, oh, fuck, them two are gonna love that line. Literally. So yeah, should we move on to topic of the episode?
Alrighty.
What's the topic of the episode?
Topic of the episode was going to be ranking the finales, but I figured, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just discuss something a little bit here. You guys can weigh in on this, not necessarily full-flushed opinions, but the top 10 episodes.
Right.
This can be just things out of all of them. Well, for you, it's obviously going to be like New Who.
Yep.
For you, it will be
a decent amount.
a varied mixture of whatever.
Yeah, a decent amount of classic Who and
For me, I think it's roughly about half and half. For me,
because it's what I can remember. Because remember we did count. And I actually have seen like 3 or 4 more stories.
For
than you have,
me,
but
this
you've
is
seen on, like,
for me
audios
this
and
is like a planned thing. For these two, it's more than less off the cuff, whatever they can think of. So we'll go with me first. Number 10, starting off with a New Who one, Bad Wolf and Parting of the Ways. And we'll
Had
just say
Rose in
this. Yeah.
But
would this
still
would
well.
this make either of your top stories of all time?
Oh my god. Probably.
Yeah, it'd probably be lower,
Yeah.
but I reckon it would
Like,
be there.
I don't think it would break the top 10.
No.
But yeah, it would probably be like 12 or something.
Alrighty. So have you guys you got a number 10 off the top of your head?
In order to think of a number 10, you'd have to think of another 9. So.
Yeah. True.
Uh,
Alright, just something
just-
that just pops
just
into
gonna
your
say
mind.
it. Pops into my mind.
Alright, not necessarily in order, but just some great episodes that you think are among the best.
Oh well, these are only my opinion.
Yeah, your opinion.
I
That's what we're going.
quite liked, like, it's not the best,
Mm-hmm.
but I liked the Centaurites.
The Censorites. I haven't seen that one yet.
It's
But,
a
It's William Hartnell.
Hartnell story.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's like one of the first. I remember that
Yeah,
one. It's in the first season.
It's very early.
It might be like the fifth.
Was it the
or-
Centaurites? I'm pretty sure it was the Centaurites.
That's the ones they're like the Ood's cousin, and they got like little beards and really big
Oh no, it
heads.
mustn't be
No.
the Centaurites. I can't remember. No, this one was a Troughton story.
All right, say a few things, and then I might get.
It was a civilization. It was ruled by a machine. Had robots inside of it. And they thought it was a.
Don't tell me you're talking about the Crotons
No,
or
it
the
was-
Dominators.
was the
Obviously, he's
Protons.
talking
I
about
didn't mind the
Matrix.
Protons.
Okay, I think a lot of people hate that, but oh well, it is your opinion. Don't do that to our loyal viewers. that don't sit for our
I
videos.
respect your opinions,
Yeah,
and please don't.
but
hate me.
I haven't seen that yet. But Tim,
Let me
when
just-
you think
let me-
of like the best stories of all time,
Let me think for a sec.
I should have written down my least favorite
Oh,
as
shit.
well.
Again, it wouldn't break my top 10 or whatever. But
yeah, no. It's just like
I really love the Poison Sky and the Sun Stratagem.
that is a good one.
They're
Although you did mess the episode order up.
yeah, I know, but I don't care. That's what the episodes are called to
Yeah.
me.
All right. So moving on. Number 9 for me, another New Who one, surprisingly, and I think you guys will agree with me on this one. Human Nature and the Family of Blood.
Definitely.
Yes.
That is a
That breaks my top
People
10.
pan that one.
Yeah, no.
I know.
And
it's good though.
There is a YouTube reviewer called Batman March. He
Yeah.
usually reviews figure reviews and all that. And most of the time he doesn't like New Who. But he loves this story.
Yeah.
He really does.
It was
If I can
great.
get one nitpick, it is the fact that David Tennant still has the hair gel in.
Yeah.
It's kind of
It's
weird.
the
It's like,
20s.
what?
The
Well,
one
Before the 20s?
Oh yeah.
It's 1913.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. But
So yeah.
my favorite scene in that, I was like, my favorite holy fuck scene was, well, my 2 favorite holy fuck scenes. What one of them wasn't holy fuck. It was just like, oh, that was cool. When he saved the dude with the fucking cricket ball,
Yes.
he's like, where's you want that Gallifrey?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck's that? Oh, it's an island, I think.
Yeah.
And my second one is when the fucking, was it the brother, pushed him over and he hit the ring of switches.
Yeah.
And he gets up and he's like, well, I did
Yeah.
this. And I was like, oh, you
He's
fucking...
been doing that. He's like, ugh.
I'm like,
Although that does also beg to differ. It's like, why couldn't they smell the Time Lord on him? Because they're obviously so, like,
Yeah.
when Timothy opens up the watch, they smell
like-
it. They're like that. So when the Doctor obviously had to open it up to get all of his Time Lord consciousness back, why aren't they like...
I have a slight theory on that.
Like if they
I have a slight theory on
Yeah.
that. They smelt it, like, because they were a decent distance away when he opened the watch.
Oh, yeah. Like,
But it's that big. There is so much Time Lord energy compressed into
Yeah.
that single little object.
Exactly.
It would have... You would
Yeah.
have smelt it from a mile away.
Yeah.
But once... I think...
But releasing all of it surely
Yeah, no.
would have had an effect.
Yeah, they probably smelt it, but... I don't know.
And
But
then
they-
also,
but-
why didn't they smell the Time Lord on him when he's literally, like, not 2 feet in front of them?
Well, I have another theory. So, might have something to do with the atmosphere of the
Maybe,
ship.
maybe, like, yeah, okay, I can see some of it. I just like to kind of forget about that.
Yeah.
Because I
Because that was
really
a holy shit moment.
love this story.
Yeah, it was great.
Brilliant. Alright, so another one, just from your...
The
From your
Daemons.
memory.
The Daemons. I
Alright.
might get a little bit of flack for this, but I liked the Daemons.
Yep,
It's a
okay.
good Pertwee story with the Master.
Okay, I
Roger
just want another
Delgado.
one for you guys to do. Just to make it probably a bit easier on you guys, just think of it, the greatest story. This would be a bit hard for you, so you can continue doing what I'm doing, just the greatest stories. But for you, this could be fun. Greatest story from each of the Doctors.
Oh, okay. First,
So you've done the second, and you've said your piece on the third. We'll come back around and then do the first.
okay.
Alright, so another one, just off the top of the head. Another all-time great. For you, your own opinion. Again,
Not
doesn't
really
have to
an
be-
all-time great, but one I do enjoy, and you're gonna fucking hate me for
Oh
this.
god.
But
Oh god.
Sound of Drums and Last of the Time Lords. I actually enjoy them.
Now, no. To be fair, I first watched it, I didn't enjoy it, but then I watched it again.
Yes.
The more
But
I watched, the
funny.
less my
It's funny,
happiness.
Because growing up, I loved those two stories and hated Utopia. It's the complete fucking reverse now.
Utopia's fucking brilliant.
It's fucking fantastic.
I just mostly love it for like what it does, and I know it doesn't do much, but like the whole the Doctor, Martha, and Jack
What?
having this whole plan to break into the Valley and
Yeah.
stuff. That was cool. The Doctor being aged up so much that he becomes like
Tweety Bird.
Tweety Bird, yeah.
And god, the
that
effect is
CGI.
stupid.
And the
Fuck that CGI.
Oh, it's
crap.
horrible.
the Master's death always gets me because
I know.
like he's
Not that I give a shit.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
that
not
particular
saying
movie.
I give a shit or anything. I'm not.
It got to me when I first watched
When
it.
the ring was picked up at a time, I'm like, he's fucking coming back.
See,
When the ring was picked up, I thought of the end of Flash Gordon.
See? Yes!
Ryan
That's
Blessed,
exactly
Ryan
what it
Blessed
is.
shows
Yeah,
up.
See, when the ring gets picked up, I'm like, is that the fucking Rani? Is that the fucking Rani? Oh, it's
Yeah.
just some throwaway bitch. Boo!
Basically,
Oh shit!
basically,
That would've been great.
That would have been awesome.
Because so many people were saying that.
Basically, friggin' the Master's there, and he's dying, and the Doctor's just like, no, you gotta regenerate. You gotta regenerate. And the Master's like,
Fuck. Alright,
fuck you.
so,
That
alright.
was just really cool.
Alright,
to me.
so moving along, we got about half an hour
Okay.
left. Alright, so, and I actually just did the math, it is literally half and half. 5 of these are New Who, 5 of these are
Nice.
classic. And number 8 is my first classic, and I think an underrated classic, that Revelation of the Daleks. You haven't seen this, I presume?
No, I haven't.
It is an instant
It's
must-watch.
awesome.
One of the best Dalek stories
Literally,
of
just
all
like
time.
hand me some classic Who, and I will watch it.
Yeah. I mean, that is an idea we
You're
have
not gonna like
for
it when I
future
get
content.
get to 5.
You just wait. I probably will. I don't know. I'll probably agree with
To
you.
be fair, you haven't seen a lot of 5, have you?
A few.
Okay.
You'd be surprised how much I've actually seen.
Yeah.
In case you can't tell, I don't like the Fifth Doctor.
Yeah.
More on that at a later date. But yeah, Revelation of the Daleks, without getting into spoilers for Tim's sake, I think it has some of the best Dalek design of all time. The white and gold is fantastic. I
Yeah.
love
Oh.
that look. It's got some really dark shit.
Fucking hell.
I mean, I just kept thinking, Soylent Green is people. Soylent Green is people. And I don't like that movie. Soylent Green is just wasted
I don't
potential
mind that
already.
movie. I just had a good idea. We should marathon at some old sci-fi movies.
Yes!
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched a
Can
lot.
you
I did
rent,
a lot.
Can you rent stuff on your T-Box?
I think maybe, but I've got Netflix.
No, but on the T-Box you can rent movies, and there's
Really?
fucking tons of old sci-fi
Fuck
movies
yeah.
on there.
I mean, I've got so many sites, but legally, of course,
Maybe
they're
I might-
legal
I'm-
sites, guys. Anyway.
I might be able to dig out
Yeah.
a copy of Doctor Who and the Daleks.
Oh, I haven't
Oh
seen
my
that.
God. You haven't
I
seen
want
that?
to watch it.
Peter Cushing, man.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
Anyway, but yeah, Revelation of the Daleks is fantastic. I mean, a lot of dark stuff, and it's a Colin Baker story, and I think he is underrated. I mean,
Yeah.
it is.
I remember the first
it's
time I watched
so
him,
violent.
I remember the
his
first time I
era.
watched him, I didn't like him,
You know.
but the more I watch him, the more I
And
like.
he's so much better in Big Finish, I'll just say that. But
I'm gonna get
Yeah.
into those.
so number 8, Revelation of the Daleks for me. For the first Doctor, for you, best story.
Unearthly Child.
Really,
I
don't like
actually
that.
I enjoyed Unearthly
I
Child.
like the first episode. The
Yeah.
rest is just
Yes, but it's not just the reason I enjoyed it. It's just it introduces you to the Daleks.
and I can say this because it's not on my list or anything.
No.
My favorite story I've seen is the 10th Planet.
That's I like.
Even
I like
then,
it.
I don't think it's that good. I don't think there's a single,
I
at least
like
out
it.
of ones I've seen.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a 10 out of 10 story in there in his run that I've seen.
Oh, I wouldn't say they're 10 out of
Yeah.
10 stories, but they're
No.
they're a
I can
decent
appreciate.
watch.
I can appreciate the fact that he was the first, and
Yeah.
that was good. But you know, I think there's only so far that can take it.
Yeah.
That I can't really.
They're a decent watch.
You know, yeah, they are. But I don't think there's much
They're good to watch if
rewatchability.
they're good to watch if
Either.
you're bored.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Some would say you'd be more bored watching them than you would if you were just
Yeah.
completely mind-bogglingly bored.
If
Which
you-
is what
if
I
you-
say about the unmentionable 2011 Christmas special.
If you haven't seen them, they're good to watch when
Yeah.
you're bored.
But
Rewatchability.
so, yeah, rewatchability ain't
Moving
really
on.
there. Yeah. So, Tim,
You got another one?
Oh,
you got another one to pump out for us, boy.
Come back to me.
Come back to you. Okay, we'll probably just keep going to you, and you'll keep saying that,
Yeah.
and we won't.
You'll say like 20 at the end.
Yeah. All right. So number 7 for me, Dark Water and Death in Heaven.
Yeah.
We've set up.
Do we
this-
even need to talk about
No,
this?
we
'Cause
don't.
literally
We set
just
up
ran
this
for
on
half an
it.
hour about it.
So over to
So 4.
you.
You're gonna hit me. I liked the Ark in Space.
Oh, I did too.
Oh, okay.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's the best of his era by any
No.
stretch of the imagination.
I've seen a lot of Baker, but I don't remember a lot of Baker.
okay, I can almost guarantee you watch Series 13, and I can't stress this enough. Best, hands down, season of the show.
Okay.
There's a few episodes. There's about 2 episodes that I think. I mean, Terror of the Zygons is good, but it's not a masterpiece by any stretch. Same goes to Planet of Evil. I thought that was really decent. I'm like, this is actually a cool episode. And same with the Android Invasion, but that has things like Pyramids of Mars and Seeds of Doom and the Brain of Morbius. Hands down, the best season of the show. I have probably
seen them, but my memory with Doctor Who, because it was such a long time ago that I've seen it, that I have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
I reckon that if I rewatch it, it'll all come flooding back.
All right, Tim.
I still don't have anything.
All right.
I just keep listening to you guys, and it's just getting interested in your conversation. Just
you should
not focusing on my own thing.
We're gonna have to get you to watch some classic.
Oh yeah. All right, number 6 for me, and another new serious one, but you guys know it's even. The numbers for them. Midnight. I love Midnight. What do you think?
It was. Okay, I didn't think it was...
When was the last time you watched it?
Probably a couple of months ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's a fresh opinion.
Yeah. I think... it's okay, and it did have, it did scare me slightly.
Yeah, it scares me even to this day. Even though it's not Moffat, it has one of those Moffat tropes of taking something that's kind of like not just that, but copying. Repeating. That is something children
and that made
do.
It fucking scary as shit.
It did, because I remember the first time it aired, and Joel and I were
fucking Donna's just there.
Joel turns around and says to me, "Holy hell, that was frightening," and I just looked at him and said, "Holy hell, that was frightening."
I remember the first...
And he just lost it.
I remember the first time I watched it, I watched it with my mum, and my mum's like... Jesus
and
Christ,
I think that is just fundamental Doctor Who.
Yeah.
One set, I don't hate it. I like it. Yeah. But I love it. Fantastic story. All right, moving on for your 5. Your choice for the 5th Doctor.
The Black Guardian trilogy.
Really, I still haven't seen that. Any of it.
It's Mordred Undead, Terminus, and Enlightenment.
Yeah. Okay.
I enjoyed them thoroughly.
Well, I can say because there's not a 5th Doctor story on this list. My favourite is
technically a 5th Doctor story, but I do like the 5 Doctors.
Yeah. But I don't think it's necessarily
because
him
Russ
that makes
Warrior
that.
Robot.
Yes. I mean, I think
it was I was actually really happy to see Pertwee again.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Because I love Pertwee.
I love how one of my complaints about I'm not even going to say Error of the Zygons. That's what it's called now. Yeah. The 8th anniversary. One of my complaints about that is it does not feel like an anniversary. Yeah. My complaint for the 5 Doctors is it feels like too much of an anniversary. Yeah. You got all of these characters coming back, but they make Sarah Jane completely useless.
Yes. Then there's the thing with Baker.
But you have the 3 Doctors.
Yeah.
That is great. You just have the Doctors returning. William Hartnell sadly couldn't do anything at that point. He just had to do the screen.
No, he died.
No.
Oh, you're talking about the 3 Doctors.
5 Doctors he died, but not the 3 Doctors. It was just too.
I can't remember the name of the actor that replaced him.
Richard Hurndow.
That's it.
Which, he did a fine job with what he did, but
it's just
not William Hartnell.
I always remember the scene of him eating the biscuit. He's like,
and him just, I'm sorry, why did they write that line of dialogue? The original! You might say, I'm like, you're not the original, don't say that. Ugh. But the 3 Doctors is fantastic.
Yeah.
You get a new frightening villain that needs to return. Bring back Omega, please. Yes. You guys won't understand that. If you get the Doctor Who figurine collection, you will. But back on track.
Can I just say, apart from the Black Guardian trilogy, my favourite Case of Androzone.
I don't really like that.
I know you don't like it.
I don't see the appeal.
It was okay. I just thought it was okay, but the Black Guardian trilogy is my favourite.
My favourite is a rather odd choice, Resurrection of the Daleks. I love that story, and I don't know why.
I didn't mind it.
It doesn't appear very high on a lot of lists, but I really love that story. Alright, Tim, you got anything?
Finally, I have something.
Okay, fine. Blink.
Yeah.
Stephen
Get
Moffat.
out. No, that's all good. Yeah. I mean, I don't hate it.
It was good for its time.
Yeah, I just don't think it's
It was-
a 10 out of 10 story
No.
for me.
I honestly didn't like Blink that much because I was like, why the fuck is Sally Sparrow in this? Because I'd been reading a book
Yes.
with Sally Sparrow with,
Yes,
with
she was
fucking
in a
9.
comic book. She was in a comic
She was
strip
with 9.
Yeah, she was.
And I was like,
That
what the
weird.
fuck?
Yeah, that was fucked. Anyway, shall we move on to my number 5?
Yep.
Waters of Mars. This is my favourite.
You know my views on Waters of Mars.
I keep forgetting you don't like
I
it,
don't
do you?
really like Waters of Mars for some reason.
Why not? It's beautiful. It's
I
brilliant
respect your
story.
opinion, I just don't like it as much.
Oh,
for
it's
some reason.
horror. It's some of the horror at its best.
I don't know, I just didn't find that scary.
Ah, the fucking...
I just sort of laughed because of their
the
nuts.
Flood, that's their name. I finally figured it out
What
after
is
all
this,
this
Halo?
time.
Yes, it's Halo.
Yeah. Oh, they're fucking scary. They're white eyes, the fucking cracks.
I just thought they were funny looking.
Oh, yeah. At times, it's like...
They're like
Andy,
and the water
I
coming
mean,
out. That's
Andy in particular. I thought Taraka Tell, I think that's the guy's name, the second one who gets infected. He looked kind of scary, but Andy at times looked kind of funny. He's like,
The thing about the Flood that I found, like, horrifying was the fact that they had all these, their lips and stuff were cracked, like they were
Yeah.
really dry, but then freaking, they're
It's
just
just streaming water.
It
Yeah.
was like, oh my god.
there is something in their throats that's producing all that water, like a fisher or something. But yeah, I really love this. My favourite Tennant story, hands down.
So fucking scary.
I mean, I love
And
it.
especially toward the end where 10 realizes that I am
Yeah.
the fucking Time Lord victorious.
Yeah.
I can fucking do this
Exactly.
if I want to. There's no one to stop
So
me.
can we move on?
Yeah, because we're nearly running out of
Yeah.
time. But your favourite Sixth Doctor?
2 Doctors.
Yes, very good
Was it
choice.
Awesome.
I mean, mine is still
Love
Revelation.
Troughton's performance in that.
Oh yeah,
Even though he was getting grey hairs, he
I mean,
was still
yes.
still 2.
Sadly, I mean, they were planning to do something for the 25th anniversary, but sadly, Patrick Troughton passed away, and that couldn't happen, which was real upset. I would have loved to have seen what they did with that, because I think it was actually going to be the 7 Doctors.
Oh,
That would have been so great to
Awesome.
see. Yeah, I mean, fantastic. Tim, you got anything else?
No.
No? Okay. Number 4 for me, Remembrance of the Daleks.
Mm.
Wow, this is fan-fucking-tastic.
Oh.
I mean, the Daleks look a little weird,
Yeah.
bopping from side to side when they're moving on the street.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think this and Silver Nemesis is what we got.
Yeah.
Or I think more so Silver Nemesis was what we got instead of the 7 Doctors. I haven't watched Silver Nemesis all the way through yet. I kind of can't. I mean, I keep watching. I'm like, I'm going to keep watching this. But Remembrance of the Daleks is awesome.
Yeah.
For anyone who hasn't watched it, go out and watch it now. Yeah, you've got the deodorant can of the roll-on deodorant of Emperor Dalek. I'm not going to say. In case you don't know, I'm not going to say who or what, or even if it's revealed who the Emperor Dalek is. But go watch it for yourself, guys. And for 7, for you.
Greatest Show on the Galaxy.
That is a really good episode, I will admit. Yeah, really good. Tim, still anything?
Still nothing.
No, okay. Number 3 for me, and oddly, my favourite of Tom Baker, Pyramids of Mars.
Thought you were going to say that.
Fantastic! I mean, for a long time I thought Genesis was his greatest, but obviously it didn't even make my top 10, which I think is odd, for me anyway. But Pyramids of Mars is fantastic. You've got a terrific performance from Elizabeth Sladen, from Tom Baker, and Sutekh is amazing. True powerful villain. And that's what I fucking want from Doctor Who. Bring Sutekh back and do it right, please.
They won't.
Alright, so
If they bring him back, they won't.
Yeah,
Moffat will be like, nah.
They fucking won't.
when Moffat's out, please, whoever's the showrunner, if he's doing a good job, please bring him back. Alright, so we can't really do anything.
Not at the Doctor.
Can we?
Not at the Doctor.
Yes. Well,
The Doctor
that's
Who
a cop
movie.
out, so 9. We'll just move on. Because yeah,
Dalek.
Dalek, yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Dalek's just.
I mean,
awesome.
first time we'd seen a Dalek for 40 years.
Yeah.
Well, not 40. Sorry,
Since Remembrance,
since Remembrance.
which was however long, I think
Yeah.
like
What year was it? 89? 87.
88.
80s.
It may have been 87, but potentially 88.
Well, it's
88.
first time we've seen a Dalek in Doctor Who in over
17
over
years?
10 years for a long time.
Yeah. Although we did hear them in the television movie. Oh
Yeah.
God, they sound like stupid. I don't want to
Yeah.
talk about them. Tim, anything?
No.
No. Okay.
Again, I'm paying way too
No,
much attention
yeah.
to your
All
conversation.
right. Number 2, the War Games. This is a 10-part story that I watched all the way through on one fucking sitting. That's all I need to say, guys. Go watch the War Games. Patrick Troughton's fantastic. It's his final outing as in his run of the Doctor, although he did return for the 3, 5, and the 2
Yeah.
Doctors. But brilliant. Always good. This man worked. I mean, fantastic. For you,
10.
for 10.
I did watch a lot of 10.
Yep.
Utopia.
Utopia is your choice?
Yeah.
Yep. Good call. Tim, anything?
No.
No? Alrighty then. And of course, my number 1 favourite for anyone who has been watching the show long term, you already know it's Tomb of the Cybermen. This was my first exposure
that
to the
come a
second
while
Doctor and the Cybermen. It blew my fucking however old. I presume I was 8. It was one of the very first stories I saw, and I've been watching since I was 7. Which is also why I was quite aggressive on Day of the Doctor, because that wasn't just marking 50 years of the show. It marked 10 years I'd been a fan. So that's also why I felt so strongly about that.
Holy shit, that would have been the same thing for me.
Yeah, but 10 years. And I mean, well, in my second year, I would have been probably 8 watching this episode, and I was just captivated by, Cyber Controller, all these Cybermen. They terrified me. And
They terrified everyone.
yeah, and the funny thing is, they sounded like my electric toothbrush.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even brush my teeth without
So they
being
were like-
terrified. You will be like us. That's exactly how
do
I
that.
talk.
Do that voice
The-
again. I'll do the lip movement.
You will be. Yeah, the letterbox mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, the lack of emotion in their face.
Yeah.
If it is one complaint I can come up with, it's kind of weird how much of a threat they try to make the Cybermats
Yeah.
become, and it's kind of just makes them look stupid. But I love it.
They tried to do that in the Wheel in Space too.
Yeah, but I mean, in Revenge of the Cybermen, I hate that story. It's a terrible story. I mean, they're like that fucking big and they're like
Yeah,
proper
right.
menacing. They like go up to the neck and red shit.
It's stupid.
No one knows what. Full on Iron Man 2
Yeah,
up
I
the
know.
neck. Anyway, so yeah, for 11 for you.
Problem with me with 11 is I can't fucking remember any of the titles of the episodes.
Just describe them all instantly. No,
Tessa like that.
that narrows it down. What? Let's kill Hitler.
No. Fuck
Thank
no.
God. Wedding of River Song.
Yes.
Yeah,
Didn't
that's
like
good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
For me, which one was on my? Did I even have one? I didn't have one.
Number 1. Oh wait, no, that was your number 1.
I didn't have. Let's see. If I could just pick one up the top of my head, I'd probably say Name of the Doctor would probably be my favorite 11 one. Nothing to add, Tim, I presume.
No.
No.
Hang on, just quickly. You 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, fuck.
Okay.
And 12.
Well, for one,
Rabbit of Sherwood.
yep. For one, 10th Planet.
Mhm.
It's just I haven't seen that much to really go off. I've seen like the Daleks, but I haven't seen that in ages. And Dalek Invasion of Earth.
Yeah.
And I know for the child, that's all I can form an opinion
Yeah.
of. Tomb of the Cybermen is obviously my favourite there. I
Yeah.
don't have a Pertwee one on here, but if I had to pick, I'd say the Three Doctors, because that's just fantastic.
I need to rewatch it.
That
It's
is
been
like a 10
very
out of
long
10
time
story
since
for
I've
me.
seen it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. For 4, it's Pyramids of Mars. For 5, Revelation. For 6, Remembrance. For 7, for 8, I I don't technically count Night of the Doctor because I don't like to count minisodes. It's just
Okay.
like my personal
I still
thing.
prefer Night.
But I really love the TV movie on that hand as well.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
good.
Eric Masters. I love Eric Masters. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eric Masters. Eric Roberts.
Eric Roberts.
I mixed.
The
You know.
Master. Eric Roberts as the Master.
Yes.
Eric Masters as Robert.
Rob.
Anyway.
Anyway, and Bad Wolf and Parting of the Ways for 9. Waters of Mars for 10.
Yeah.
11 is Name of the Doctor, and for 12 it's fucking
Yeah.
Dark Water.
Oh, I thought it'd be deep.
And for the War Doctor, it's Name of the Doctor.
To be fair, it's the only thing he's in.
I'd
The
like to
only
think
thing
so.
he
No,
will
wait,
ever
no,
be
wait, he
in.
was in Dark Water.
I'd like to think so. Listen.
No, he was in Listen.
So I think that pretty much
Yeah.
brings this to a close.
Yeah.
We have a 10-minute break before we start rolling on our other video.
That'll be it.
So that'll be fun. We'll have to set all this up, move it back there.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Great.
Alright guys, so they'll all pretty much be uploaded around the same interval, give or take however long it takes for them to upload, which I don't know how long that will be. But guys, thank you for watching.
Just one quick thing to add. Very soon I'll be starting my own YouTube
We'll
up.
be starting. I'll leave the link in the description below
Yeah.
so you can go to
There's
his
nothing
channel.
there now, so don't bother going there yet.
Or you can just go there, subscribe,
Yeah, go
and then
there.
you'll get
Yeah,
there.
subscribe.
So,
that
yeah.
would be nice of you because I'd love you if you'd subscribe because
Yeah.
I've got 2 subscribers.
Definitely, guys. And
But I'll be getting music. I'll be doing my own music, gaming, readings, all that stuff, and hopefully doing stuff with these guys
Yeah.
because they'll be good, mate.
He might be joining me for an improv video.
Yes.
Second-
Yeah.
second
Also,
one.
I will have a Splinter channel where because we're going to form an a cappella group.
acapella
Yes.
group right here,
Acapella
bitches.
group.
Yeah,
I've got
guys.
to think of a name, so
Yeah, we need to think of one. Definitely.
I would totally suggest Fellas, but that's already a thing.
yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. We'll see the recording in about 10 minutes for the Magician's Apprentice. Super pumped for that, guys. Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Very quickly, we need to do our series round-off thing. It's the very last one.
Oh, God.
All right.
My turn.
Beginning episode. Series 8. Does it beat whatever the fuck we had for our last one?
I
Deep
think,
breath. Does
I'm
deep
just gonna
breath
shut up
beat?
'cause I wasn't
I think we still had Rose.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No.
No. The 11th hour beat
That's
out
it.
Rose.
That's it. Yeah.
Does Deep Breath beat out 11th hour as an opening episode? I'm gonna say no.
No, it doesn't.
Straight up, it doesn't do a good job setting up very much. I mean, yeah, it sets up stuff, but it's a very cinematic opening and it focuses on being a finale. Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever we had as our past one, which I believe was Series 4.
Yep.
I think this does a really good job
Yeah.
of closing out the season. Series overall, does this beat Series 4?
God, I want to say yes.
I'm gonna say no, but it's second. It's
Yes,
second for me.
It's a very
close
close second.
And Christmas special. Does this beat whatever you had? Because
Yes.
to me it doesn't.
Yes.
A Christmas Carol is still high on that list. It's a 10 out of 10.
I can't even remember what mine was.
No, I'm sorry, I changed my answer. A Christmas Carol is my favourite Matt Smith story.
Right.
So that's what Yeah, a Christmas special, can you believe
That's
it?
the
So
one
that
with
means-
Michael Gambon.
Can you
Yes.
dig it?
Yeah. Oh, I fucking
At
love
the
that.
very bottom is a Christmas special, which we're not going to mention here because it's the unmentionable 2011 Christmas special.
The
Which
thing.
I want to beat myself with a stick because I accidentally called it
He
by
said
its name
he
earlier
said the
today-
title.
earlier yesterday, and at the very top is A Christmas Carol. So that's good. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna end
All
that
right.
now. I'm gonna get up and come over to you guys. You can see my epic
see you in like
cosplay.
10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
see you guys. Well, yeah,
Oh,
10 minutes.
10 minutes in our time.
We'll see.
I don't know.
Whatever
We
interval
won't.
he uploads these in.
Until then, guys. Take care.
I'm off screen. There you go.
See ya.
Bye-bye.